All right, you fuckers, we're live early and
8 o'clock
on time.
Like, I'll get on later. I'll get on like 8:25 because they're always late. Not tonight, baby.
This is what you guys miss in the 45 minutes it takes for this show to fucking come together.
Yeah, we usually wait for people and we talk about great stuff that could be on the show. And so Andrew and I are like, let's just put it on the show.
Fuck it. We're doing it live.
Doing it live. So welcome everybody to the Arcade Hangout, America's favorite, longest running live arcade podcast where we talk about such debatable subjects as when you take a shit, wiping forward or wiping backwards, or controversial things like when is it appropriate to give your friend an upper decker? Anything like that. And bandersnatches. So anyway, here we are. It's Andrew, it's me, and Seabart and Carrier. Oh, Seabart's back.
I'm still here. I haven't left.
Oh.
Come on now.
Okay.
Sorry, you're short. We were looking over your head.
Hold on.
We missed you there.
I have hydraulics on this thing.
Anyway, we are a group of friends like to get together and talk about such items and arcade games. And let's see, what do we have to talk about today? Andrew, do you have anything interesting?
I do. I don't know how interesting it is. I have broken 2 minutes.
You broke?
I've broken 2 minutes on the cube. So yeah. I want to save a longer story for something I'm working on later, but that's my thing. I got a speed cube.
Oh,
so I don't know how good it is compared to
it's like super easy to
but it's a Rubik's cube. It's been my hobby. It's super smooth and
you can solve it.
2 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes is my best time.
Oh, I should get a Rubik's cube. I have never solved one. Yeah.
Then this was originally based on the story from Red Robin and the Pac-Man pixel art thing that I talked about.
Yeah.
A month or so ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, within a month, and I still do it on like sort of like the novice way of doing it. I haven't memorized all the crazy patterns, but I can still solve it if everything works out, and I don't have to redo a bunch of patterns because it just sort of the luck of the way I do it.
Yeah.
2 minutes, like solid.
Like sometimes you're doing your pattern, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm there.
Yeah,
like
totally.
that.
Yeah. It's like if like 2 or 3 of the things where you have to repeat certain patterns to line things up, if they just work out, then just by how it happens to be mixed up, then it falls together, and I can totally nail. If everything were perfect going like that, I could probably do 1.5 minutes. But again,
to me, because I can't do it at all. So,
dude, basically, I just watch some YouTube videos, and I know it takes some of the mystery away. It's like sort of like you guys ever do like card tricks or like got semi-serious about card tricks? Like I did that in my 20s, and there was like some like card tricks that I just got super into, and there was a group of guys, mostly guys, a couple girls too, but like a group of people, and we'd hang out at Village Inn. That was like our thing.
Mm-hmm.
We just sit there and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Because they would let you basically rent a table at Village Inn for like $1.25 for an endless like cup of coffee.
Oh, then you're there all day.
And we would stay there. We wouldn't like that was like kind of like the thing though. You didn't show up during dinner. You didn't go during breakfast. You'd go during the off times. And if you were there during the off times, they would just let you just sit there forever.
Yeah.
And then my thing was like, I would just tip them extremely well. So it's like, if I sat on a table, I figured like a couple bucks an hour.
Yeah.
At least for a crappy tip from like a typical Village Inn Denny's.
Yeah. That's
patron, right?
I would go there in my 20s.
And I also figured like, I require almost no work. Like you come over like every 30, 40 minutes. Village Inn had the crafts of coffee, like the little thermos things. So, every 30, 45 minutes, I go through like the 6 cups or whatever in that thing. And then there was a thing you turn the top.
Oh, so they would just leave it with you then on the table.
Yeah, they leave it on the table. It's like self-service coffee, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it was when it was empty, you'd turn the top and then flip the top
so they notice
up to notice that to show that it's like empty
and put it on the edge of the table.
Yeah, they walk by, they just grab it. Yeah. Well, no, yeah, you just like whatever when it shows up.
Yeah.
And they go back and like they hold the thing up there for like 10 seconds, put the cap back on and drop it back on your table. That's the amount of service I required per hour. So I was
that's $1.
Yeah. If there wasn't a line at the door, like waiting to take my table, if there was ever a line, I'd be like, fuck it, pack up my shit and go.
Yeah.
But like that's like we live there.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I did a lot of that in my 20s.
Yeah. So, card
what were we talking about?
Magic card trick. So there was a group of us there, and we would play chess. We would play board games if they weren't too obtrusive. Right? You didn't want to like look like you're like card games were okay, and I think the card games would eventually dovetail into like, oh hey, have you ever seen this magic trick? And then people like within this small group of like 6 or 8 of us, and then we all started doing card tricks for each other. Anyway, the whole point of that is like learning card tricks. Always loved that stuff. I don't do it anymore. I still have like a box of like card and coin magic tricks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I should pull that stuff out. I actually kind of weird little itch for it. Anyway, Rubik's Cube. So that it was like card tricks is always like a thing of my youth. I always loved those things. And then the mystique of the cube.
Yeah. So did you have to go outside source to learn how to beat it? Because a lot of people do it that way.
So I absolutely learned. I mean, I learned watching YouTube videos. I mean, like this is what we do nowadays, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to learn how to do something, you go on
YouTube.
YouTube.
A great place to start.
Yeah. So
but not to do the thing properly.
Well, sometimes it depends.
Well, no, I mean, if you want to challenge, like to do stuff, then sure.
Yeah, for Rubik's Cube, fine, but then you have all these people thinking they're professional, and it just makes a mess.
Right. You can learn some really bad arcade habits, for example.
Yes.
By looking at YouTube videos. And I'm not promoting my own. I'm sure there's some bad stuff I've done that like, fuck flux and all that stuff. But so I totally just like went onto a YouTube video as the first page, and it walks through some of the basic patterns for doing a novice solve of the cube. But that novice solve has gotten me down to, like I say, like below 2 minutes, like just at 2 minutes is like, that's a good one. And like my high one would be like 3 minutes.
Okay.
So
I have to ask, as you're working the puzzle, do you do it by sides, like solving sides? Like, okay, I solved this side.
No.
And then you solve them.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So, and that's absolutely how it approached like a cube solve when I was younger.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that like to date, the best before, I went out and into the Red Robin story, the best solve I've ever done is like one side. Right. So the way that this pattern works, and anyone who knows Rubik's probably will look at this and laugh, but that's fine. But basically what you end up doing is you solve basically one side, and then you solve it by color, layer by layer.
Oh, interesting.
And then once you've got like the bottom 2 layers solved, then you solve for ultimately you solve for the corners, and then eventually the sort of the mid edge pieces.
Yeah, which could be turned around all weird too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so
you solve one side and raise up on all sides.
Yeah, basically.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
When I solve like the first thing to be solved will be like this whole bottom one side, and then all of these will be solved. So this would be like all green, all red.
Oh, interesting. Blue. Okay, so that way you can follow that as a guide.
Yeah, and then the next solve will be, so like this is like the green side because it's got the middle piece that doesn't move. So these would be all green, these will be all red, these will be all blue, all orange. And then the top layer is the most sort of complicated. You end up having to do a bunch of patterns to solve that one. But the logarithms that you use to solve for each of these things, it's all based on some very similar and consistent movements of the cube.
Yeah.
And you just have to learn a few of the patterns. Like I said, it took me about 2 weeks. As I think I told the story and then I posted to the Slack group. Like it's like the first time I solved the cube, but it was like,
I know. I've
there
never
it is.
solved it.
Fucking done. I've never done that in my life. Since I was a little kid, this thing is
it's been a challenge. I might have to go buy a Rubik's Cube now.
I gotta go upstairs and look for mine now.
All right, so and here's
I got my triangle one right here.
Your triangle, and actually, I want to talk about the triangle one.
That's easy though.
Yeah, but I still want to talk about it because like we get to see you solve it, and I could solve this one now, but that's not really what I'm trying to do. Fuck, I totally lost my train of thought.
Let's see. Solving the cube.
Anyway, the whole thing was like it's a childhood dream.
Yeah,
it finally came true. I'm not even remotely saying I'm a Rubik's Cube guy because like there's like
it's an intimidating puzzle though.
It is.
Because I've sat with it in the past as a young kid and just working it for like an hour and not getting anywhere.
Right.
It's a difficult puzzle. In fact, I watched a show on it on TV where this woman was addicted to a Rubik's Cube, and everywhere she went, and she could never solve it. And she like 2 weeks solid, she's like doing this with a cube and can't figure it out, and she's just addicted, but she can't do it. So she finally got a Rubik's Cube book, off the shelf. This is before the internet.
Yeah,
and she went through the book and read the book, and she was able to finally solve it. So there is something to these tutorials to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube. You can do it, I guess, but you just got to have perseverance and practice and all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And like the guys who are like super good at this stuff, like
the speedrunners.
Yeah, the speedrunners. I mean, you're talking about like these guys, like on average, that's like like I don't know, 10, 15 seconds to solve the whole thing from like completely fucked up to like they put it down. I think the way that works is that they're allowed to study it for like 20 seconds.
Oh,
and then they have to put it down in front of them, hands off.
And then when the alarm
and then they say go, and they pick it up and do shit.
Yeah, it's like a big hand blur.
Right. And then they drop it and it's solved. And like at that point, then it's done. Right. And those guys are doing it in like I say, like 10, 15 seconds. That seems to be like pretty average for these speed guys. But then you see like the world record is something like 4 fucking seconds.
I wonder if it has to be mixed up the same though, too.
Well, and actually that's a good question too, because like I'm curious about like what constitutes a mixed up cube.
Yeah, because it could be 6 moves to solve.
Well, yeah, I mean theoretically, but like I think that like
depending on how long they mixed it up.
But like even if you mix it up like, for a long time, you can end up like putting stuff back together in
a little bit. Yeah, no, you're right.
So like there, I just spun it twice and I put 3 oranges together. Is that is that
cheating? Yeah,
is that cheating or is that mixed up? Yeah. So I'm kind of curious, and I'm sure there must be some rules about what a fucked up cube really looks like.
Yeah, and to solve it that fast, I mean that it has to be everybody's would have to be the same to have that a same
right. But if it's the same, then they could solve it for that same solution every single time.
Yeah.
So it can't be the same.
I doubt it. It'd be hard to I guess they could show graphs of what it was.
Right. But if you if you could study for a single solution, then that's not a fair solution for
that's true
what the puzzle
too.
Is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because then it's like, oh, I know that I need to do this, and it's like 15 moves, and then it's solved.
It is interesting to think about. Like, is there an official Rubik's Cube judge who fucks it up?
Yeah, right. Yeah, what are the rules to fuck up? Like that's super curious to me. Like that doesn't actually matter for the way that I solve it.
Yeah,
for like the novice way, but it takes me 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah,
these guys are several orders of magnitude faster.
Yeah, but 2 minutes to me is amazing. So
we were at a bar and this guy was carrying around a Rubik's Cube. I was with guys after work. I'm like, I bet money that guy could solve it. They go, no way. I go, dude, why do you think he's fucking carrying it around? He wants us to ask him to do it.
Yeah.
And he did it. He did it in like 2 minutes. Like maybe he was real quick about it. But
yeah,
I go, he's sitting there with it in front of him. He's by himself. He was like a traveling roadie for like a concert that they had at the university. So it was done, and he was just like alone at, a hotel. And that's his conversation starter.
Right.
He's sitting with that mixed up cube in front of him. And I asked him, I go, what? And they go, he did it. I told you he'd do it.
I'm telling you, fucking chick magnet right here.
Did you get an official Rubik's Cube?
I have. Oh yeah. So that's a good question. So I have an official Rubik's. I bought it from like Target for $6.
Yeah. Don't
buy that.
Okay, because I'm looking at it. It's $5.49 on Amazon.
Yeah. So don't buy that. So there are, and this is not a full fast speed cube.
Yeah.
But if you, let me just try to get the camera here. All right. So you can see how the centerpieces. Yeah. No. The stickers are original. So the centerpieces are rounded.
Yeah.
So what that does is that makes a big difference for making like very quick turns.
Yeah.
That might be slightly fighting the cube. I have my original Rubik's. I can actually bring it out and compare it if you want to see it.
So what is that brand? Do you remember?
So this one is a Rubik's Speed. I don't know if this is like a Rubik's brand or not.
So you want it rounded or you don't want them rounded? You want them rounded.
So the outside of the cube will be square, but this is actually not super speed cube. This is, I don't know, beginner speed cube.
How much was it?
I don't know, $12.
Okay.
It was like twice.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. I mean, no. So the ones that I think that you want are actually
$60 ones in here.
All right. Yeah. So I can talk about that one a little bit. I can't go into depth. And again, if there's any real Rubik's people who are listening to this, they're going to laugh because I don't know, and I don't pretend to be someone who knows. But the real speed, I can say this: the real speed cubes, the center square is almost perfectly round.
Yeah,
that's the style you want. Now the $60 ones, those ones are like rebuildable with different springs inside of them.
Yeah,
where you can like adjust them to different things. The off-brand ones, the Chinese ones, is actually I think are the ones you want.
It says full-size Magic Speed Cube, easy turning and smooth play, durable.
Yeah,
$6.
Well, so yeah, and I think that like a lot of the speed cubes I was looking at before, like they top out like for like your typical ones, like $15-$20. That's the most you're going to spend on like a decent one. Now you can go ahead and spend the $60, but that's going to be buying a cube that's like a pro cube. And the only value of it is that you can tweak that cube to be exactly the cube that you want. But that's like, I don't know. It's like I drive to work every day on these tires, and I want to put like the best, most high performance tires in the world, and so I'm going to spend $1,000 per tire. And it's like, yeah, but you're never going to appreciate what that tire can offer.
It's a glam cube.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm sure you could enjoy it, but like the thing is like $20. Don't buy the standard Rubik's Cube. Buy yourself like a nice Rubik's Cube, a nice puzzle cube or whatever they call them, and you'll be happy. When I solve my regular Rubik's Cube, my Rubik's brand Rubik's Cube at full speed, I can get that thing down to almost as fast as this, but my fucking hands literally hurt.
Yeah,
from trying to solve it as fast as I'm trying to solve it.
Yeah, it's harder to turn and stuff. Yeah.
So just get yourself one of these. They spin really nice, really smooth. You know, it's very, very.
I like
fast.
the sound.
I know. I love the sound.
Did you guys see that? I put in the chat. Did you see the America's Got Talent Rubik's Cube guy?
Yeah. No.
We saw it.
Yeah. Huh?
I saw it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He turned it into.
He's not that. He can't be that good. He's matched the other guy's cube pretty quick though.
Well, I can tell you how he did that.
Yeah, no, sleight of hand.
Well, no, if you look, it's not the same cube.
Yeah.
That when he covers it up, you can see that the colors weren't. He just switched the cube that he gave to Simon. So
is that what he did?
Yeah. When Simon's covering it, it was a different cube that Simon mixed up. He already had the pattern in mind for the other cube. He already knew which one he was going to solve. So he switched it. When he looked, he switched it. And so it wasn't Simon's original cube, but it's definitely, he's still pretty good at it. You know, it's still
sneaky.
Still a fun trick.
Yeah.
Yep. more magic than solving, but yeah.
Right. So Mock, tell us about, like, so we got to see you solve the pyramid or the whatever.
Yeah, this is an easy puzzle if you ever play around with it. If you just play with it enough, it'll solve itself too. Pretty much.
I feel like I did that once when I was a kid, but I don't. I had that. I love the pyramids.
Yeah, the pyramid one's fun.
Yeah.
So what's the trick with that one? Like, what's your pattern for solving it?
Well, you start to realize that these two shapes don't matter because they just rotate here. So you just match those up. So
right. So those ones are easy.
Yeah, those are nothing. And then same thing with the adjacent one. It should always be the same color, of course. So once you have that done on all your corners, if your corners are turned, then it's just a matter of you're only really solving 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 pieces or something. Okay. So it's not much compared to a Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube, you're dealing with like 6. No, is it not? I guess it's 6 things, right? 6.
Well, it's so the centers are static, obviously, because the centers are the things that hold the thing together. So those ones never really move. They only move because you rotate it in your hand. They don't. Move. White, no matter what I do, white will always be right there.
Yep.
Unless I rotate my hand to put it somewhere else. So those are the only ones that are static. So basically, it's the 8 pieces around it.
8 pieces you got to deal with on each area. Yeah, it's just a whole different animal.
What year did the Rubik's Cube come out?
Oh, good 80s, I think.
Yeah, the 80s.
Well, you know what? This is like, because I'm born in 72, so I'm going to be 47. So when I had a babysitter as a kid, which would be in the early 80s, a babysitter came over with the Rubik's Cube and the book. Was sitting there working. I mean, that's such an 80s.
Yeah.
And then we went to her sister. It was a whole family that watched us. And then once we went over to their house, Nate Atari, we played Yar's Revenge. Listen, the heat of the moment on 45. I mean, I was like, 45, I was such in the 8. And then I bought it because I had a crush on the babysitter. I want heat of the moment because Carolyn had it. It was just like, and listen to Mr. Roboto in her face. I was like, oh my God.
Sticks.
And your sister's doing the Rubik's Cube. And it was just like, that's so 80s.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh, you're so close, though. Google search. The Rubik Cube was invented in 1974 by Erno Rubik, a Hungarian architect who wanted to make a working model to help explain 3-dimensional geography.
But when was it released?
Yeah, when was the craze?
It was invented the year that I was born, so that's pretty awesome.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
You're showing your age, though, but there you go.
Yeah, but that's easy with this group, except
we're not as old as Steve. That's all.
No.
Ouch. He just had a birthday.
He just had a birthday, too.
How old were you, 50?
Its heyday was in the 1981 was the start of its heyday.
81.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
In the UK, so 1982 for US, North America.
Yeah.
Ish.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I remember it being such the craze, though. I mean,
it was.
Even in high school, everybody had them on the bus.
Everybody got it for Christmas, like that year.
There was a stocking stuffer.
Yes.
Everyone's fucking stocking.
Cube.
And then, like, as soon as you fucked it up, it's like this is never gonna be fucking solved. Fuck this thing.
Everybody took them apart.
Yeah,
people started moving the stickers, but then you could just take them apart.
No, there's so much. You could totally take them apart. You just turn the side and just pop the corner off. Yeah. Which is the only way I ever solved it as a kid.
Yeah.
Dave said it. Stickers off.
People start
them off.
I never did
you need the stickers though, but the stickers will get all fucked up. Like, it's like peeling off arcade art.
Yeah.
Sorry to make it relevant to the topic, but it's like
peel off. Tube Hangout.
You're bringing the train back on the rails. That's what we care about.
Well,
it'll have little ridges in it, like a fucking French tickler or something.
Of course.
How do you mix French tickler with French?
I know, what the fuck.
It's a rib for her pleasure.
All right, besides the Rubik's Cube, the Pyramix was that? That's what it was called. And then there was the thing with the links.
You remember the missing link?
Well, it was a thing you slid back and forth.
Yeah, little slidey puzzles. Yeah,
I could do that.
And what else was there? Was there a snake?
The snake. Yeah, the snake.
I could do the snake too.
They were little parallelograms.
You could turn them into, make them into like balls and other weird shapes and other things.
But, I think the challenge with the snake was not to solve it. It was just to like make the shapes.
Creative shit with it. Yeah.
And it wasn't there was a big Rubik's Cube, which was more. It had a shitload, right?
Nah, that was ridiculous.
So they have the 2x2. So that's like, you know, just the 4 basically pieces. They have the 3x3. They have 4x4 and 5x5, and then they go stupid from there.
Or how about the weird shapes they would have too?
There's actually there's like the round ones,
the spear. I remember the spear.
Yep.
Like,
I actually saw a great YouTube video of someone solving, I think, a 10x10 cube.
Jeez.
And each side is like tiny, right? So the whole cube is like this big. And he's solving it, and he's slowly rotating it, but it's so fragile. The whole thing, like one thing pops out, and the whole thing just and falls apart. And he's like, "Fuck!" And just like walk away, because it's like he could solve it, but it's gonna take him in like 4 or 5 hours to put the fucking thing back together.
Yeah.
You know what's another thing that lost steam? Remember dominoes, when everyone would set up those dominoes display? I haven't seen one of those on a YouTube. Remember, like the thousands of dominoes. I love those.
Yeah.
The whole like Rube Goldberg thing is still a thing. Yeah.
It's like they're still out there, Dave. You just gotta look for them.
Let's go see the OK Go video. This now passed.
34 in the
now, right?
Oh yeah.
In
the dirty
chat,
adult Rubik's cubes. What?
In the chat there, some guy did a time lapse of him solving a 17x17x17 Rubik's Cube.
There you go. I mean, like it gets stupid from here. And again, I am total amateur. I've been doing this thing for like 4 weeks. I'd like to, at this point now, I feel like I've mastered like the novice way of doing this. So I'm going to start studying maybe the more advanced solutions so I can get it under a minute. And then, I don't know, maybe we get it down to something actually fast. I'm not interested in world records, but I love being able to solve it.
Now that you can solve it, that must be a great feeling.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, I could, if you guys want to keep chatting, I will solve it for you. But like, I've also been, I have been drinking.
Wait, let me see if I can find mine. Hold on, and then we can do a time.
Like totally.
Yeah, hold on. Like I go upstairs.
Solve our puzzles together.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I ain't gonna get it, but if I could get 2 sides, I'd get a boner just because I do that.
Yeah. If you get 2 sides, I'll give you a boner.
Wow,
oh, easy, buddy, easy.
I wish Jim was here. I'll take a shit for him, so you get a boner.
That's all it takes, man.
Okay, are you ready, Andrew?
Well, no, because we gotta wait for Dave to get back. Wait, and I gotta make mine more fucked up. So like I said, I try and fuck my cube up so that I definitely don't want 3 in a row. Actually, like I said, it doesn't actually matter for the way that I solve it.
If you can help it,
but I want to, like, the doubles. You can't.
Well, you're gonna have it on the cube, I guess.
You can't really help the doubles. I try and minimize the doubles. Like I don't like seeing those 3, so I'll fuck that one up.
Yep.
Just close your eyes and play with it, and that's where you start.
That's where I start every night.
And every morning.
And every morning. At least twice a day, that's how I start.
But like, good thing your wife doesn't hear this shit.
She knows, otherwise I'm knocking on her door twice a day.
Wreck that pooper.
I'm leaving that one alone. If we were off air, I'd respond.
That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke, and somebody will know what we're talking about out there.
They might.
Somebody from Australia will know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah. Jerry might recognize that reference.
That's Jerry's quote, not mine.
Yeah.
So
I wish we could take credit for that one.
But
right.
like, so if we're gonna like play with our puzzles, that's great. But like Chris,
that's great radio.
Chris, like Chris, you're gonna have to just like tell us a story about, like, I don't know, what did you do at work today?
Well, it's a code 546. Let's move.
Oh, you got a Buzz Lightyear?
No, because I had to go through the toy bin to find this, and I'm like, Buzz Lightyear. Nice. It's so classic because it's in the kid. I have a 6-year-old, so I got a massive thing of all these toys, and it only took me, but I kept hitting Buzz.
Lightyear to the rescue!
I kept hitting him, and that's I thought I was laughing because I'm like, he was like on top of
awesome, dude. That's a fucking serious Buzz. You got
to infinity and beyond.
It like does everything the movie one does. It's
he's pretty cool.
All the buttons on the front do shit. The wings pop out.
The wings, well,
Do they light up?
Well, they used to.
Well,
Yeah, he's got the laser on his hand.
That's
I love
Tim
this guy.
Tim Allen does.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So whenever you're ready,
Yeah.
Well, Chris,
so
Chris said
mine is
go.
mixed up.
Yeah. I'm gonna show
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
uh,
he's doing the same thing.
Marcus said go.
All right.
So
So
no,
that is,
Chris hit the timer, and
that is properly mixed up.
Mock is
Are we
definitely gonna
ready?
win.
Well,
But
I'll win. This is easy,
but yeah, then Chris, tell us about your day at work.
It didn't happen at work, but
Someone
it
say
happened
go.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
So it didn't happen at my job. It happened at an old job. I cleaned out a whole bunch of crap in my room. So I go back to an old employer with a whole bunch of barrel keys. Not knowing what the hell they did, just knew where they were from. So I go there, talk to the security desk, and say, yeah, I need to speak to this gentleman here. I'm pretty sure these are keys for the building. It's like, oh, okay, I'll call him. Security guard shows me in the elevator and says, yeah, he's up in the penthouse. Like, all right, good enough. It's lunchtime, close enough. So I get it. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke.
It sounds like a joke. It sounds like a setup for a joke.
Well, he tried to pull one on me, but it didn't work too well. Jimbo, not until you're on camera. You know the rules. I hear the farting.
I just fucked up.
So 10th floor, doesn't matter. Time is still going. You're almost at a minute there. So about 10th floor, elevator shuts down. I'm going, oh, that's not right. Then the power to the elevator goes out. Then the emergency lights go out and go, oh, this is funny. Cluing in that my boss is in the penthouse with the control circuits and the computer that controls the high-speed lifts in this particular building. Find his number on my phone.
By lift, you mean elevator?
Yes.
I got green.
Elevator. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. First one done.
I'm not ready.
Oh, yeah, he's done. Yeah, I'm sure.
Not yet.
So at the 10th floor, I go, hey, bud, I'm stuck in the lift there. You want to tell me what's going on? It's like, oh, yeah, there's a problem with the building. Really? And the emergency power cut out? Like, oh, okay, I'll bring you up. Realizing by this point that, you know what, these keys are definitely for the elevator. Put the key into the service key or into the service slot. Power comes back. Main power comes back. Turn key to service and start bringing the carriage up and down. Dude, what the hell? I'm supposed to be meeting in the penthouse to turn in these goddamn keys. Like, oh, I don't know what's going on. It's going freaking everywhere. Took him almost 4.5 minutes to realize that the keys I had that I was bringing back to him were the elevator service keys.
Dude, you need to keep going.
Dave!
Peekaboo!
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hoping I'm gonna get lucky.
No, I wasn't going up in the elevator. Well, I was, but I wasn't making love in the elevator, going up while it's going down.
Solved.
Nice.
All right, I give up anyway.
Oh, 2 minutes, 43 seconds. I'll take the 10 off because of the slow hit.
Well, Andrew's still working on his.
I fucked up bad.
I'll just spin it, and make noise like I'm doing.
So it's definitely harder to do Rubik's Cube when you're drunk.
Yeah, it does not help that I've had a few drinks.
I'll give
have a few
Andrew a
drinks.
20-second or a 2-second lapse because of the lack of me hitting the lapse button. Come on, Mark, keep going.
Oh my God.
Go, Andrew.
Well,
Go.
I already finished mine.
Oh, sorry, Dave, keep going.
I'm done.
I give up. I don't know how to do it. I missed the first. I missed the first part of the lesson. Well, he
You're
said you gotta
married. You're married. Just turn the knobs.
Oh.
I'm gonna watch YouTube videos and learn how to do a Rubik's Cube. I just ordered one, so I'll play.
Mine
around
is
with it.
mine. I don't know if mine's rounded or not. Mine is a Rubik's cube. It seems like it moves pretty good though.
All right.
I mean, not for speed.
Oh, you're close. You're close.
You're missing riveting radio, Carrie.
Say,
All the shit you had to deal with on your airplane trip.
oh my God, that's right. Yes. Those things are
Carrie
fucking...
had a Rubik's Cube, and it was like in her ear the whole trip.
Oh my God. Luckily, he did stop. He fell asleep at some
What
point.
Jim's in the Rubik's cube now? I missed all this.
Jim's not allowed to talk until he gets on air.
Yeah.
Making fart
All
sound.
right, I'm about.
Harry saw me do a card trick at Brofest last year.
Boom.
Mhm.
Sorry,
Yay!
What was that? Seabart?
I
So
fucked.
that was 4 minutes, 12
Yeah.
seconds. Giving
So that-
him a 2-minute credit.
4 minutes for Andrew. Dave never.
That was me. That was me fucking up and trying to do it
Pretty much.
drunk.
So that was 4 minutes and 12.
Nicely done.
Never admit you're drunk.
Yeah.
I
was
agree
4
with
minutes
Mock in
and
that statement.
4 minutes.
No, actually,
That's how alcoholics do it.
properly buzzed. Sorry.
You see, like on like cops where they're arresting some guy, he's pissing his pants. Oh, you're drunk.
Like the
He's
dude
like,
just-
I'm not drunk.
Yeah.
We've all seen the Parabola pizza.
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
now.
The answer is deny, deny, deny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andrew, your time was 4 minutes
Yeah, I can definitely do
and 10
like
seconds. I'm giving you a 2-second credit because I didn't hit the lap after Mock said he was done.
I couldn't do it in 4 days. So
I
So, we'll go with
definitely.
4 minutes, 10 seconds, and screw the change.
Yeah, I'm just impressed that I
All right.
found it in the toy bin
You found something in the toy bin.
with
I don't know
Buzz
if that's
Lightyear.
dirty or not. Oh, you got a little buzz. You got a little buzz out of the toy bin.
I got a Buzz out of the toy bin.
I got a Woody.
I live in.
Yeah, you know, and it was funny because it was the first bin I looked at. There was a Woody and a Jesse hat in the bottom. Like that's where those hats went. Oh,
That was good. That was good.
Poor Jesse.
Oh, she likes getting
Isn't
buzzed.
he a cousin too?
Likes getting
She's not
it
a
from
sister.
All right, so Steve, did we talk about your birthday?
No,
That's not your birthday, dude.
I'll just briefly skim over my birthday.
you weren't 50 though. You're 50.
Yeah, I'm 50. I'm an old fuck.
I didn't even ask you to like out yourself as far how old you are. I wanted to hear about the party.
Yeah, so it was just a small group of friends because some of my other friends that I have, like you guys or other friends I have that have moved away or died.
Oh, let's see that.
Yeah, I've had a few
Yeah,
die.
because you're old. That's
Because I'm
what
old. No, they died of other dumb reasons for doing dumb things. But
You would
anyway,
have been in the same high school at the same time, Steve. I was a
Leading
sophomore.
up-
You were a senior.
The
oh,
leading
okay.
cause of death in the lower states is hold my beer. I gotta try something.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Actually, that's it's really funny because like there's the subreddits on Reddit.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
Like one of them is like "Hold My Beer," which is just like dudes doing stuff. The girl version is "Hold My Cosmo,"
Oh my god.
and it's a
Yeah,
video of
magazine?
girls fucking it up. Hold my Cosmo.
Hold a drink.
Straight over.
I've never
Yeah,
seen you
it's-
on that thread.
Yeah,
That's
like
vodka over beer. What's wussier?
while I ride this, like tub of like Tupperware down the fucking stairs, or
Oh.
whatever they do.
So yeah, it was Keith and Keith's partner and friend Kevin. You guys met at the pinball tournament when you guys were down for Keith's pinball tournament thing. And my friend Paul and my friend Gary was there, who I hardly ever see. He's the one that helped me build the arcade cabinet.
Oh, cool! He made it out. That's awesome.
Yeah, he made
I
it
wasn't
out.
sure which guy that was in the pictures, but
Yeah, he was the one on the right. Well, on the right of the picture, closest. But so, anyway, so you know how like Keith hates it when I say pinball table. He says table. You don't say table. You put $1 in the jar. So he goes, I made you a table. And as I showed you the pictures, yeah, and it's a pinball table because it's
Yeah.
Monster Bash. It's a little Barbie table.
it's like a beer coaster.
It's so stupid, but I laughed. You know, it was good.
Like I got you a pinball table for your birthday.
Yeah. So that same day on Saturday, I was having problems with Monster Bash. I got an arcade
Okay.
story.
What?
So yeah,
Wow.
This shit's got what 100 plays on it?
yeah, not even that. I think it's got like 10 plays on it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, hardly anything. And I'm like, what was happening was the right flipper was getting weaker and weaker, and pretty soon it was sticking, and it would only come down if the flipper would go.
Oh,
Like, what's going on? And then when it would hit the ball, it could barely hit the ball. It could barely hit it up, hit up to the top. It was really weak. I mean, abnormally really weak. Now, if it was a pin that was like on route, I'd be like, oh, it's a dirty old flipper. It needs a rebuild, but this is like a brand new machine, brand new coil, everything. I'm like, what is going on? So Keith told me to check the space between the playfield and the flipper to see if it's touching, to see if it's like rubbing into it or something.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, so I checked that.
Fuck up your playfield right there.
Yeah, and it wasn't that. It was fine. So him and Kevin came out during the day because we went out to Dave and Buster's for my birthday thing in the evening. So they came over during the daytime, the same day. I think it was around noon. And Kevin and Kevin's I don't know if you guys know, Kevin's like an expert pinball restorer. Like he's legendary on Pinside. I remember when a Monster Bash went up for sale, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, this was done by Kevin." I forget his last name. Good one. Anyway, all these five different people in Pinside were like, "Oh, I know him. He does really great work." Da, 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 da. Like he can like tear down a pinball table and build it back up again with a brand new, like a replacement table, and that's hard. No, that's a feat.
In the table jar. Just saying. Table.
I did. Oh shit. That's my table. I gotta go. Thank you, sir. I have another.
You're basically gonna buy a new pin with that table jar. I think that's Keith's goal. That's like when your parents would like put your money in the square jar and it ends up being your college fund.
Yeah, I buy enough Girl Scout cookies from his daughter. It's fine. Anyway,
that's a cookie jar.
Yeah, I paid him back in cookies. Cookie sales.
Lemon cookies.
Yeah, I'll ask for a lemon cookie.
I'm a thin mince guy.
Dave doesn't know that joke.
No, he wasn't there. That's right.
He wasn't there. Yeah, I gotta tell him that joke.
Missed out on that one, Davey.
All right, Dave. At Grinkers, I'll tell the lemon cookie joke in the back of Grinkers after we've had a few.
Oh, I can't wait.
I want to hear it again.
I'll let you know how to joke again.
All right, it's gonna be like this, like the Nat. Like, all right, he's gonna tell his joke. Everybody come around.
Then they hear it, they're all, that's stupid.
I waited a year for this.
No good. Goddamn son of a bitch.
That's
Freeload.
If you don't at least chuckle, we'll buy you a beer.
If you've never heard the joke before, it's fun.
You need to be on like a bar stool or something so your legs are dangling. So when you get all animated, you can because that's what I remember.
So
well, he was sitting
back to the story of the Monster Bash that's not working. Let me get the picture here. Okay,
it's not like you spent any money on it.
So Kevin and Keith were examining the underneath the flipper mechs, and they noticed that the coil wasn't totally secured to the table tightly. In fact, they could wiggle it.
Oh shit!
So not only that, they were looking at it. It looked like the piston wasn't going in the way it should, and on top of all that, it was tightened down really tight. So the spacer, I forget what they call it, flashing or something. The spacer between the flipper and the playfield, was cinched down super tight. So that's why it was sticking when it was going up. It was just they just cinched it down way too tight. The pin that holds the flipper, So they took it apart, and then they noticed something else odd. Is that the sleeve that's inside the coil?
Yeah.
They opened up the right one because that was the one I was having issues with, and they're like, "This doesn't look right. It looks too short, and it's not reaching the back." So you've got a combination of it's too tight. You've got the wrong size sleeve, and it was loose. So that means it's firing not straight into the to the coil like it should. Like it should be perfect. And it means it's kind of moving around in there because it's loose. So
it's like
they
made a hot dog down an alley.
Yeah, hot dog down an alley. So here I have a picture of. So they opened up the other mech, the other flipper assembly, and compared that sleeve to the short one, and you can easily see.
Oh,
let me try and present you. Hold on.
So Steve, you're so mellow. Are you at least mad? Aren't you? Sort of mad about this?
That's like several millimeters short.
Yeah, look at the difference right there. That's a big difference, right?
That's a big difference.
So I was mad that day. Yeah, I was pretty pissed. So, they made the
$4,000 back
stuff, and it's playing better. I've contacted them and opened a service ticket, and they're sending me a couple sleeves, and I'm gonna put that in, see if that helps, and make it work 100%. And if not, then I'll open another ticket and figure out what's going on. But so since he made the adjustment, it's been better, way better than what it was.
So pardon my ignorance about Monster Bash. I've only played it at Keith's house. Actually, that's the only time I've ever played it. Is that a 2-flipper game?
Yep.
So why the fuck do they have multiple sleeves?
No, it's 2 sleeves, one on each flipper.
No, I know. Why do they have multiple sleeve lengths? You'd think
they're not supposed to.
On the assembly line, it would be like one box of sleeves.
They grabbed, and there was probably not quality control in the sleeves that they get from the manufacturer, and they probably got a short one. Something fucking shitty like that.
And anyone else reported shit like that on Pinside? Or?
No, and I reported it, and nobody really said much. They didn't really care. But Keith goes, that's kind of a thing that can happen. That because you got people that are just quickly putting these pins together.
Sure,
whack, tighten. Okay, let's go. And they do a quick test to see if the switches are going, and then they send
and it worked fine for you for like the first 10 games.
It did. Yeah. It's what happened is as I played, I think the coil shifted.
Yeah.
And it made it so it was jamming into the side instead of straight down it.
Yeah, it was hitting one building down the hallway or the alley.
Yeah, it's just not straight through. Huh. So when so when I get the sleeve in, it should be getting in probably end of the week or something. I'm sure I'll get it. Keith even gave me one. I have it here somewhere. Where'd it go?
It's not like you flex so hard your sleeves popped out.
Oh, here it is. He gave me a used one, but he goes, but if you're gonna get brand new ones, just wait for those. So I'll just keep this as an emergency backup. So then they asked me, do you have another mech or another flipper rebuild kit? I said, no, I was just going to buy one when I need it. And he goes, no, you should just buy one for Stern because I have a Stern Tron. And you should also buy one for Williams because you got 2 Williams games there. So just so you have it as you're ready to go because they will break someday, and it's just always good to have. If you're a pinball guy, it's good to have that on hand.
Yeah, those rebuild kits on hand. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
like a cap kit.
Yeah. Now here's the weird thing: Williams has
caps go bad, but the sleeves don't.
Yeah, the weird thing is when I was looking at them, Williams doesn't make pinball anymore. That's an old it's a company that stopped doing that. They went on to I think make slot machines or something. So the weird thing is that a rebuild kit for Williams is like $25-$30. But if I get a rebuild kit for Stern, they're like $60. So
wait, what?
How does that work?
Crazy.
I don't understand.
Fuck you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much a fuck you.
Yeah, $45 to $60 around that range. So I'm like, why so much for that?
God damn it. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, oh yeah, for Ghostbusters, I should probably pick up some rebuild kits and throw those in the coin bucket and wait.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck.
Oh, one good thing with Monster Bash though, they did give me a goodie kit, which I didn't get with Medieval Madness. So it came with like some extra stuff in it, some replacement things. I think it gave a couple of rubbers. Yes, I said rubbers
for protection.
For everyone's question.
Came with a couple French ticklers.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool that they did that. They included a few extras, because they should. I mean, you're paying a lot of money for this thing. I think it should have some things that might break extras. So, but anyway, yeah. So back to Dave and Buster's real quick. We played a couple games there, and Till was there. Till was there.
Oh, yeah, we saw the pictures of Till. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and he made it his mission to earn tickets. Tickets don't come out of the machines anymore. I haven't been to Dave and Buster's in a while. Yeah. So you haven't in a while either.
There's like
on the card.
Virtual tickets.
Yeah. So the tickets all go on the card. So it's not exciting anymore. So you take your card, you zip it to see how many tickets you have total, at any given moment. The station's right in the middle,
That's lame.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's not the same.
No, it's way lame.
You think adults, you think we're bummed. The kids don't get that excitement anymore.
I know they don't, because that's like winning a jackpot. Ding, 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 ding.
No, it's
ding.
like Fun Spot. What they actually have the tickets. Every other place, it's like paper. It's like the old stock tickets,
like slot machines
string.
like that
You know,
now.
but Fun Spot still has those real tickets.
Real tickets come out. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
so,
like even when we were kids, like Chuck E. Cheese, the skee ball machines spat out real tickets.
Yep.
So that's still part of our youth. Like
Yes.
I know Jimbo Dini, for example, you want a fucking skee ball.
Yeah, we played skee ball too, and
you would want a skee ball that spit out proper tickets, right?
And you know what? Skee ball gave out the worst.
The thing is that skee ball doesn't even spit out that many tickets, so
it doesn't.
No, yeah.
Like per round, you might get 8 tickets if you
it's shitty. So Till, to get the most tickets that he could, because he's trying to win something for his girlfriend, he kept doing that like Wheel of Fortune thing.
Oh God, yeah, I do that all the time. It's like it's like a buck a pull.
Yeah, imagine not Wheel of Fortune. There's one that's
Price
like
is Right. It's like
Price is Right. Price is Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was picturing. Yeah.
They had both. So they also had a roulette wheel looking thing. But anyway, so he ended up buying. I should have taken a picture of it. A Pac-Man hat that actually was pretty cool. It had embroidered Pac-Man and ghosts, like really tiny, like about like that on the side of the hat. Then I had a big Pac-Man on the front. Let me see if I have a picture.
Wait, so that's what he won for his girlfriend?
Yeah.
She's all
wear that with pride, champ.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like,
it's like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Here's your participants trophy.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to be like offensive to girls, but like, be like she embroidered something for him, and it's like, all right, go wear this in front of all your friends.
Yeah, do you want it? Here, I got this for you.
I knitted you a hat with a really fucked up looking like.
You got her a mood ring too, like those rings that you put on. They change color. It says you're horny or whatever.
He's green. He's like, says is that I'm horny.
It says adult mood ring, so it's probably why it has that. You know, it says
the ring says you're in the mood. What's wrong, honey?
What a liar! Throw that ring in the trash. It's the liar.
Are you sure that's not all it says? Yeah.
The ring says you have a headache again. What the fuck?
Yeah.
This ring always says you have a headache.
Those rings don't work. Trust me.
That ring's a ripoff.
They don't work.
It wasn't worth 5,000 tickets. I'll tell you that.
Like, like $15 for this shitty.
It's inflation. You know.
What am I supposed to do with a cock ring?
Yeah.
How is it a cock ring that's this big around?
Yeah. Here I am, sitting alone, naked, wearing only a cock ring.
It'd be funny if that Dave
What's a cock ring?
A real adult section.
Yeah.
I think it's a ring with a cock ring.
To your left, and cock rings to your right.
Those two boys in the
He said he was wearing it.
You know, the Asian dude, he was in all the American Pie. He was in a lot of stuff. He was in the Star Trek movie. The kid in the locker room that the two kids and the one Asian guy. He's been in a shit ton of stuff ever since that movie.
Well, Pump the Volume was like a breakout movie.
Yeah, in more than one way.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Dave and Buster's, so we played some stuff, and we all played a lot of the driving ones were a lot of fun, like the Mario Kart ones were a lot of fun, where it takes your picture and it puts your picture over the car, so you can see who everybody is on the court.
Was that the one where you have to like reach up and hit the power ups?
No. You just drive and you drive over. It's just regular Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But then you hit a button on the side to shoot your turtle shell.
Awesome, but yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. That was fun. And then we thought this one game was going to be fun. It turned out to be a big hunk of shit. Was the new Halo game. So it's this. It's Halo. Halo from Xbox. But it's one of those where you sit down and you got those big screens in front of you, and it's 4 people all together, and you've got these cannons. When you shoot, they have a few of those, at Dave & Buster's, but this one wasn't very good. It was like the same 2 enemies over and over and over.
That sounds like every fucking Halo game they've ever made.
Sucks. Yeah, exactly. They hardly have any enemies in Halo. It's like, you got the little alien scrubby looking dudes. You've got the little little creature things, and then the I guess they're the Covenant or something. I forget. It's been so long. But anyway, that was a big letdown. I was like, this. You know what's weird too is that no matter how good you do, everyone all died at the same time. You know, like
Oh shit.
so you got to like swipe your card again. We all just looked at it and were like, "This, we're done
And done.
and finished." Yeah, let's go play some four-player hockey, which is actually pretty cool. You got 4 people all playing at once on a square table. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think Jim, you and I saw that over at one of the arcades in Minnesota. That looked like a lot of fun.
it was, that was a good time. So yeah, we, you know, Dave and Buster's is fun to visit once in a great while. You know, just check out and shoot some shit and win a adult mood ring and,
Yeah.
and a hat. I gave my tickets to my friend so he could get a mood ring too. So he got one.
It's good. This way you know what the mood of all your friends is. It's much simpler than everyone else have to be wearing the mood ring. Like you don't
Yeah,
have to do your
everyone's
own.
yellow, all horny.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because they're the adult mood rings. Yeah.
That's just like your body temperature. If it's like, you know,
Yeah.
so, what is it, 7.8 degrees or whatever? What is the human body at? I don't even remember.
I think
98.6.
Yeah.
98.6. Okay. So that's what
3,000 kelvins. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
our carbon life form. So anyway, yeah, that was my David Buster's extravaganza, and being 50 sucks, and that's a hard age to hit. 40 was hard, but 50 was that's hard. That's a hard age to hit.
Still hard at 50. That's good.
Dude, that's
Congratulations.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Yeah, you don't have to take a pill or anything.
No.
Oh, yeah. Just check your mood ring.
Hey, check it out. I'm horny.
Hey, imagine that. Whoa.
I need my ring, honey. Hold on.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Lights up the room. Look at disco.
Dude, she'd be so annoyed by that.
Get out.
Dude, I get it. You're fucking horny.
I'm only doing this because it's your birthday.
Same fucking shit. I'm only doing this because it's your birthday. Oh, no.
You're lucky I'm here.
Stop it, please. For God's sake, please stop it.
So anyway, that's my story. Does anybody have anything interesting? Carrie has one on a airplane dealing with a kid with a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. I do have an unboxing and an enveloping.
Ooh. Yay!
Are we going to get some overlays or some Vectrex stuff?
Yes, it is Vectrex stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that one
we
first.
do like new Carrie's segment, Vectrex.
I know. Although I think this is. Oh no, I take it back. I do have one more Vectrex thing coming. All right, so we'll go with since there's no big surprise with this. Well, I have not. I'm exactly. So the.
Wait, but you haven't opened them. That's exciting for
because I was
and everyone else. Yeah.
Right. It arrived today. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm excited to see it, but I will wait but I have to say, if it had arrived like on a Thursday, I probably wouldn't have waited. But since I was able to pick it up today. All right. Cardboard, I want it.
And you always get the best cardboard.
I do. Ooh. Look at
what do you do with all that?
This is government cardboard.
Yeah, that's the free shit you can use.
Oh, it's great. I'm wondering they're gonna stop that shit.
I know, right?
Shitload of boxes the other day. I'm like, how can they let me do this?
Yeah, every fucking PCB I own is in a fucking mail.
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. They're my corner protectors when I wrap the games. It's awesome. U.S. Postal Service.
I was walking to my office one day, and I work in a rather rougher part of town, and there was a woman with probably some behavioral health issues, but was very sweet, young woman, probably in her early to mid 20s.
So PC, that's so nice. Behavioral health issues. I really like that. I have to use that. Okay, keep going.
Because that includes both. Yeah, exactly. Because that includes both mental health and substance use disorder, which is what they call. It's not substance abuse anymore. It's a substance use disorder.
She was crazy anymore.
Right, so she was handing out, handing things out and speaking to people, and so I approach her because she's standing in front of my office, and she hands me this piece of paper and says, "Write home." Or something, write your mom. That's what she said. Write your mom. And then I look, and she is handing out the priority mail stickers that you would like blank ones that she probably just picked up from the post office and had a giant stack of them. And she was handing them out to every stranger that passed by. Write your mom. Write your mom. And she was very sweet. She was very sweet. All right, so
sweet. Oh, I love that actually.
Yeah, it was actually. I still have the sticker. It kind of made me. It was like whatever
Did you write your mom?
was. Yeah. Well, no, but I called her. At least within a 1 month period. Within 30 days, I called my mother. Yeah,
I love that story.
And my mom doesn't email, so I can't even email her. But
it's the 21st century FaceTime.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right. So we ready? I'm ready.
We're ready. We're ready.
Yes.
So he has them lovingly between pieces of paper.
Ooh. Pole position.
Yeah, well, I don't know how well these are coming out in the little glare, but I'll angle.
Ooh. Ah.
And I got a bunch of these. Oh, so since my own actual ripoff isn't working, I have the Vectrex version of ripoff that should be working.
Cool.
Right.
Like it.
And this game looks really cool.
Are these reproductions or the real thing?
No, these are reproductions.
Oh. Okay.
Otherwise, I'd probably be sitting on like $700 worth of these things.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, but like fuck that. That's awesome. They're still making those reproductions.
I know. They do a good job. They look like they look legit.
Yeah, no, the guy seems to do a really nice job, and they feel like they have a good
heft.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it looks fantastic.
Where is Buffett? He hasn't been on here in a while.
I know, right? He's like showing up just a little bit.
He'll show up about 2 minutes before we leave.
Yeah.
We're
all like, God damn it!
I know. And part of the
too hungover to keep talking.
For those of you who are not
you're already in your hangover.
I'm listening, Carrie.
No, thank you. You are. That's all I need is you, Steve, and the rest.
Hey, I'm chopped liver. What's up, me? I chopped liver. Come on now.
You're on cold medication. You're blowing rhinovirus. So one thing about the Vectrex that's kind of cool about the overlays is not only can it enhance the gameplay for the ones where it's like, oh, look at this will help make the woo cool thing, but at the bottom it tells you what the different buttons are for, because there'll be different things. So if you're playing it for and you're not as familiar, it will tell you what the different buttons are for.
So Star Trek, is that based off the arcade one?
Yeah, it's kind of similar.
So there's a Star Trek game. I'm a novice here. There's a Star Trek game for the Vectrex.
There is.
Based on the motion picture, nonetheless.
And there's actually two versions. There's the motion. Yeah, exactly. There's the motion picture, and then there's the Star Trek 2.
Are these homebrews, or did they actually come out?
No, it came out.
Was a real thing.
Yeah,
these were made for the Vectrex, like games.
Yeah, back in whatever year it was.
I've never even played it or seen it in person.
I haven't either.
It was so elite. You're like, whoa!
I know.
I wanted a Vectrex so bad.
A way to get Carrie to set up a camera that actually works on the Vectrex, so we can actually see some gameplay.
Yeah,
because that would
I'll experiment with that and see how I can make it happen. This one,
auto adjustments.
and I don't know how. I'll have to mess with it because this is. Yeah, obviously I don't have a webcam.
Yeah,
that's built in.
Right. It should have its own camera app that you can turn off auto exposure and then just turn it down.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all it is. It's the auto exposure that's blowing it out.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll mess with that because that would be a lot of fun. And this one is especially
Web Wars.
The color actually. No, I should do it this way.
What's Web Wars? Oh, that's cool.
There we go. Now you guys can see them better.
Is that the Black Widow ripoff?
Yeah, no. It's their bugs that kind of go through this tube thing. It has a really cool 3D effect. I think this is going to look awesome.
Is it sort of like a Tempest ripoff, or?
No, it's like Tempest meets something, but I don't know quite what it.
You remember Web Wars? We played that the other night.
Oh, God.
I always lose at Web Wars.
Well, do you lose or do you win?
Right?
I lost. I thought I lost, and
Who's
then
the
I
pitcher and
realized
who's the
I
catcher?
won.
It's over really quickly, but you still win.
Oh no, that's cool. That
this-
actually is cool. Here, I'll put a link. Here.
Everyone's a wiener. I mean, a winner.
This is-
Up ahead to like 50 minutes.
Oh,
in.
did you find it? Yeah. That
Yeah.
one looks really cool. I played it, but without the overlay.
That's
These are all
neat.
on that multi that I have. This is Sundance, which
Ooh.
I think will look really cool.
That's badass.
I like
Mhm.
that. I want to play that. Look at you. You're like a little bird.
That, and I think Sundance is one of the homebrews. I only bought two. Two of them are homebrewers. Everything else was original from. That was originally on the Vectrex, which is mostly
Is
what
this Star Castle?
This is Star Castle,
Yeah.
yeah. And they have two versions. This is the arcade version. They have one without missing one of the orange rings.
You can also use it as a
So
dart
was Star
target.
Castle actually made for the Vectrex, or is that a homebrew?
No, again, that was made for the Vectrex. Cinematronics had contracted or had an agreement with the Vectrex folks to reproduce a lot of their games. So they have Rip-Off, Star Castle.
How many games were made for the Vectrex? I thought it was like such a short-lived thing that there was
like 100 at least.
100.
Wow.
You get the multi-cart.
And people keep making.
Yeah,
all
the multi-cart
homebrews.
does have some homebrews on it though.
Okay.
So and that has 101, but there are some homebrews. There's
Holy shit!
I want to say
Star
that like
Castle
originally,
looks good.
yeah, originally like maybe 40-ish. I don't know.
Carrie, do you know what year the Vectrex came out? Anybody know? I'm lazy here. I don't want to look.
don't
anything up.
remember
I want people to
offhand.
tell me.
This is their copyright.
2004.
Yeah, and
The box
So
behind you.
check out Star Castle on the link I just put. Look how that looks like the arcade though. I mean, that's fucking cool. If I was a kid,
Yeah.
I would have loved that shit.
Well, it's a legit arcade monitor. It's a.
Nin-
Oh my god.
Just jump ahead like about a minute.
There's a lot of sound on that.
Yeah, jump ahead about a minute or
Yeah.
two. You can just see the graphics though. They look real good.
Oh yeah, it looks exactly like Star Castle.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at even the ships look correct.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, because
Oh, I would have
and
loved
it's on a vector monitor. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
it's
It's small, but it's there.
Can you play head to head, or is Vectrex just one controller?
You can play head to head on like Rip-Off.
That looks amazing.
So there's two controllers you can
Doesn't
have.
that look
for
good?
Vectrex?
You can add a
Looks so
second. There's a
fucking
spot for
good.
you where you can add a second
for a
controller. Yeah.
home release. That is amazing. Like
What are the
work.
cartridges? Are they cartridges? What do they look like?
Yeah, it's hold on. You talk amongst yourselves. I'll go grab it.
I want a Vectrex.
I want Crafty Mech to make.
Didn't that
a
arcade Jason
vibrating-
didn't he put his Vectrex into a regular cabinet? Did you guys?
Did
he
he?
had a video of it. I didn't watch it though, but like he. I think
The
that's
suspense
Vectrex.
is terrible.
Someone has already figured this shit out. Like someone should make this. I want to drop this into my Tempest and just do Carrie's overlays.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Isn't that like an Atari 800?
That's the
cartridge?
website, right?
Isn't that what it looks like?
CarriesOverlays.com.
Yes. So this is this is
Yeah.
this is so
It's
this is the
yeah, Carrie's overlays, jimbodini.com.
so this is
Carrie's Bodini. What?
oh my god.
Mm.
All
I
right.
can't leave you guys
sounds
alone
hot.
for a minute.
Yeah.
So this is-
Okay,
this is-
That's funny though.
Keep telling us to talk amongst ourselves. Go
Let the
away.
woman-
again.
Yeah, no, I'll never do
You can't
that.
leave
again.
us to our own devices.
I've
and help us.
learned better. I should have just taken you with me. So
Yeah.
this is what
You
the
taken us
cartridges look like. This one obviously has
Sweet.
the little multi-cart, but like the
Yeah.
original ones are the same size.
They're like Atari cartridges.
Yeah, and so the basically if I were to bust this open, which I won't, but that's where all the chips and all are in there, and then they actually sell like empty cartridges so that when you do like your homebrew stuff, you can put it in here. But yeah, so you
Sell
see
it.
the little. You can see, I think, from that.
People sell them.
Sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is still
Mm-hmm.
a thriving community. Like online, there's a whole bunch of games on there.
Oh yeah,
Right?
and yeah, it's amazing. People are still like really into it. So they have one that's this is I'm almost done with Carrie's overlays. So this is one that I haven't played yet, but I'm excited about it and it's gonna be badass with this overlay. This is pinball. So it's very
It's like
similar
video
to
pinball then.
to the Atari video pinball,
Sweet.
right?
Yeah.
That's very cool. And then I think I just
I wonder what was the retail of Vectrex back in the day. That's a question compared to like it had to be expensive.
I think
It
it
had
was
to be.
200 ish.
Yeah.
They were.
You're buying a vector monitor.
So-
in what year though? At 200. That's
Yeah, exactly. In 82.
That's like- that'd be like-
83.
But I wonder, it was 200. What was
That'd
it?
be like- that's like a
2600
$500
price.
system.
$500 or $600. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the chat, I've just posted another one. That's you got to take a look at real quick. It's the it's called
not done.
Patriots.
I'm not done watching Star Castle. This thing
Well,
is
just
fucking amazing.
Well, just check this real quick because this is the Missile Command one, and it looks really good.
Ooh.
And I know Missile Command was never a vector game, but the way they did it, it looks really awesome, especially when it drops bombs from the little airplanes that fly by and stuff. So check that out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so originally released in November 1982 at a retail price of $199.
What are the targets? Sorry.
That's really awesome.
Oh yeah, it's got like the things. All right.
So Carrie, you got to check your multi-cart to see if Patriots is on there. I don't think it is because I think this is a homebrew.
Okay, yeah, it does have some homebrews on it.
Oh, it does? Okay,
Yeah.
well, check for Patriots because this one's really
that looks
cool
amazing.
What?
Okay.
I mean,
Patriots?
Yeah,
it looks good, right?
It's Missile Command. It's a little bit simple, but like it totally tells the Missile Command story.
Oh, it's totally playable. I mean,
it
looks fun.
The joystick, is it like an analog? Or is it
That's
like
the only thing.
four-way?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I don't
Gotta be
know.
an analog.
Does anybody listen to Broken Token
well,
here?
but
Yeah,
they don't
so
like watching watching the
What the hell is Broken Token?
watching the gameplay. It
No!
almost like a four-way.
Nobody?
What?
Where's Gak? We need
Gak does, and he's not here.
Well, no, because the one guy was over in Europe, and the guy made him like a
That's like
Vectrex
Gak's not
controller.
here. He joined their show.
No, but
He
it was
better
something
not.
like where the guy,
Traitor.
somebody in England made like the homebrew Vectrex controller, like a mod, like it was like a big deal. He's like he gave it to I don't know Whitney or the other guy. I can't remember his name.
It's even got smart bombs. That's fucking awesome.
The on Clav, Chopper the dog did a Vectrex control. So there's a lot of people have done I think some version of the Vectrex controller. And someone sells a device that you can use to plug in that would convert your like NES controller so you can use it for Vectrex. But since that's not an analog controller, some people have some beefs with it. The Chopper the dog controller looks amazing, but he only made one round of them. My understanding is that that was a lot of time and he probably would not be doing. I mean, I haven't heard anything about like him doing more. Sean, Fetish Boy had one on that, and which is basically I was looking at stuff on Clav, and Fetish Boy had one with the Vectrex system that he sold for a really good price. I think we mentioned this the other week, and and I was like, oh damn, that controller is amazing. But so knowing that I couldn't get the Chopper the dog controller, I did in fact get the controller from England.
Didn't I just say?
I know, right? As soon as you said that, I started unpacking.
It's got to be the guy. I mean, well, I mean, because they were like, oh, and they gave it to him as a gift. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing. So it was huge in England.
It's probably this. I'm guessing the same one because this is one that I
did not know anything about this. What she was saying,
I know, right?
I don't know much about Vectrex.
No, it's like this podcast. We're really big in England.
Yeah.
and
I had somebody PM me that he was a local Buffalo fan. He's seen my name, and then I sent him a link to this show. I wonder if he's watching. If you are a local Buffalo guy, hey, what's up?
We're also really big in Buffalo per capita.
Yeah.
So Carrie also put a link in chat for that same reviewer. He used a Genesis controller for Vectrex. So I think he might have modded it with an Atari plug can go into that same plug. So he just rewired it together so the Genesis.
Yeah, and there is somebody who like they sell a $20 converter or something. But adapter, there's been some complaints about people who I think the hardcore folks because it's not analog, and so they say that most of the games are fine, but some of the games aren't. So this one the guy actually did. It is analog. Oh
boy.
I'm kind of excited about this one because it's a little larger. So it's
of course you are.
Is the Vectrex controller?
Bigger's always better.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because it's so the other one it's kind of tiny. I'll do them.
Is
side
it like
by
half
side.
that size?
Oh, look at that! She's got like the NES advantage right there.
Right.
for retro.
It's pretty neat.
Vectrex.
Yeah, so he actually redid. He did the art.
Wow.
That's
Carrie,
cool.
Just from memory, isn't the Vectrex like half that size? Like the size of the joystick and stuff.
Yeah, so let's actually. Well, I'll just move you all over there.
How long is the cord? That looks like a short cord.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not leaving y'all alone again. That was just a mistake.
Carrie, you remind me of a Time Life operator with your headset. I don't know why. I always feel like
if you call now,
like you're on. Talk to Carrie. She's gonna be waiting by the phone.
She's gonna sell me episodes of the Carol Burnett show.
Exactly.
It was such a big deal. Like, it's not. I want. Yes, see, that is half. That's what I remember from pictures.
Well, there we go. So let's see.
It's thicker.
So this is the new one, and then this one, which is connected, is the old one. So this one's a little more ergonomic than this guy, because you have it more set to the way your hand would be.
Yeah. Can you plug them both in and use that original one and that one for 2-player?
Yes, exactly. So
okay,
I don't know.
So you only had one, and now this is the second one?
So the original one actually comes. My daughter's sock. So this actually tucks in here and connects in.
So everything's compact.
Right. So everything is super compact, and it's very light. So then you can just unsnap this and you're like, hey, what do you know? All in one. And here's, you have your controller. And then right in here is a area for you to be able to plug your second controller in, so you can do 2-player games head to head, like Rip Off and a couple others.
And where do the cartridges go?
So you were anticipating. So this is where.
I'm so glad. I thought you guys already covered all this.
We kind of did a little bit.
I thought I missed everything.
Yeah, so the cartridges get plugged in right here.
Shut up, Jim. I missed it all before. I'm excited about it because I don't know anything about it. I always wanted it. I thought it was cool looking.
Yeah, so the cartridges plug into the side of the TV, and basically, or it's like the little TV. And what you need to do is put your cartridge in and then power the game on. So, and it comes with the one game, but then everything else you would put it in here. The downside of the multi-card is basically once you pick a game, in order to change games, you have to turn the machine off.
To reboot the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we check to see if you have Patriots real quick?
Oh yeah.
Carrie, I can't believe you have the box.
Oh, I know.
Have a box for Vectrex.
No, she gets. Of course, she has the box.
Of course, she's got a box.
I didn't particularly.
Never mind.
I did not particularly seek to get the box.
Open up all kinds of jokes about that.
But
you fucking pervert.
Oh, I know. It was too easy. Sorry.
Yeah. Right. I did. Well, and
the original packaging.
And inherently that makes it much more valuable. And the packaging actually has. Let me turn this on. So the packaging actually has the serial number on it.
Where did you get this? Was this a Craigslist buy, an arcade person who wanted to dump it, or someone at work who said, hey, my son's got an old Vectrex?
Yeah, so it has the serial number on the box.
Garage sale?
No, it was no. Mike, man. Knew that I had been. It was interested.
One of the
in
nicest men in the world.
Yeah,
man.
He knew I was kind of interested in one.
He's quite the
but,
man.
Wasn't looking for didn't want to pay huge money on it. And
Carrie, what were those overlays each?
$12.
$12 each. Okay.
Yeah.
Way cheaper than arcade art.
Yeah.
So
if I do it this way, you can see a little bit without completely blowing things. And like one of the Vectrex guys, who's a really I think his username in a lot of forums is Vectrexer, actually lives in Pacifica, which is a town near me. So I got.
Is that a beer?
It is, yeah.
Is that a beer? Did you say?
Oh, yeah,
Pacifica.
It's really
Patriots. Yep.
Oh, rad!
It's about as good as Bud Light.
I would love it.
But it's
good sounds.
Oh yeah, that's totally
missile command.
Missile command. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
Is this with the new controller or the old?
This is the old controller.
Oh, that is
wild.
that is so freaking Mr. Command.
I want to play.
I know.
I would dig it. I'd be eating my pizza.
I
my
never
soft
wanted a
pretzel.
Vectrex more than right now.
I want one now. I really do. I'm gonna
Not
start
right
looking
now,
for
did
one.
you say?
Next time I go to the
all the
those-
prices are going to go way up now.
I know.
Yeah, we just ruined it.
We just
now.
killed it.
I don't.
All right, so any of our fans who want to sell me a Vectrex real quick before
So they go for about $200, right?
I gotta look at Craigslist Buffalo right now.
I got
Where can I
to
get a-
one.
but I
where
want
can
a
I get a-
box.
Where can I get a new one?
With a box.
I want a box.
Well, it's funny you should say that because they're actually somebody has done
Repo
apparently
the
some
box.
good, well, I guess they now have like they did an app for like the iPad or something, and they've created like a little cabinet, and you can put the iPad there, and oh my god, but it's not obviously on a vector monitor, so
Yeah.
That's I want the Vector monitor. Yeah,
yeah, totally, and the
I want the
crackle that you get,
oscilloscope experience.
yeah,
Now I do hear that some people have a issue with the Vectrex is like dying. They have like they have some sort of burnout thing, sort of like a Tempest issue. But I heard they can be repaired. So I guess we'd have to go look online if that ever happens, figure out how to fix it. But
yeah. There's a huge crowd. Yeah, there's a lot of folks talking about
yeah,
receipts.
probably have to do a
ships,
cap
this,
kit or
and that.
something, you know.
Yeah,
I
probably.
mean, the fact that you can't emulate this properly because it's not going to be a vector monitor. The fact that, like we can emulate the old NES stuff, the 2600 stuff, and all that stuff's emulatable.
Well, Vectrex is too.
I know,
Vectrex
but not on the proper monitor though.
No, exactly. That's the whole thing. That's kind of the fun.
Sure, you can play Star Wars Arcade or Tempest or Major Havoc on the proper, emulated, but it's not going to be the look.
Yeah, it's not the same look. They don't have that cool glow.
Yeah,
no.
A vector monitor has an experience like no other monitor has.
What's that, Carrie?
Great for
I had to come back in because Gleek's like plug in the new controller.
Oh yeah, do the controller.
Yeah, I do want to see it.
Here's Gleek. Plug in the new joystick. Plug in the new joystick. Plug in the new joystick.
I'm like, okay.
3
Play
times.
a 2-player game by yourself. That's
if
called
you say 3
masturbation.
times in the mirror, it'll happen.
I'll plug it into the main port here.
Now the Candyman's
I
coming.
heard it. I heard it 34. I heard it.
thanks.
That was freaking good.
Thanks, Chris.
Didn't the Candyman have like a hook for his hand?
Yes, he did.
No.
How'd he wipe his ass?
With the other hand.
One-handed. How many?
But if
hands
he's a
are-
lefty.
Wait, Steve, how many hands does it take you to wipe your ass?
If it takes you more than one, you need to go. If it takes you more than one hand, you need to go on a diet.
Why do you think he
Go ahead and
has
ruin my joke.
How does a blind person know when they're
No,
done
you just-
wiping?
I just made it better.
I know.
Oh no.
What kind of sound chip do they use in those? That sounds great.
Yeah.
It's one of the Casio little keyboards.
Yeah, perfect.
It's
You guys ever
8-bit.
have one of those?
It always sounds
Remember the
great.
little toy, little
Yeah,
Casio?
totally.
Yeah, the little
That big.
white
Oh,
ones.
And
yeah.
they make great sound too. Those
Wonder
little
if I can-
Casios were cool.
They're fun.
Let's grab one of the new overlays too. What the hell?
I want one of those too, a Casio
Play
keyboard.
Star Castle.
Star Castle. Okay.
Will you? I'm sorry.
Yes, of course.
I'm gonna be
Can
like,
you go buy the overlay
demanding.
too?
I know we could just. This will be Carrie.
Carrie, you
So
need to
we
get
want to use the
armor.
refrigerator.
I mean, come on.
Carrie, you need to get armor attack because that's the one that you have to have the overlay
You know,
for.
Apparently, it actually does draw the walls. You know
It
what?
does?
Yeah, it does. Because I was looking at it.
Oh, it
and-
does.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not actually a big fan of Armor Attack. I know it's a classic one, but I was like, I played it a little bit when I was like, am I going to let? No.
Fine.
Sorry. If you come over,
It's okay.
Fuck,
I'm not a huge
I will-
fan either, but I just thought it'd be cool to have.
We're going to spend $12 on the overlay just for you.
Yeah. All
right?
right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I'll put in 6.
I love that she's going through her library of overlays there. Looking
Oh wow.
Yeah,
the Vectrex experience that we're getting right now.
totally. All right.
I love that this adds color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the original arcade thing too. 'cause
Yeah.
the original arcade thing, there was just a little overlay.
Yep. Do you remember the old Odyssey where it had those big overlays that would stick to the big television? And if you had a different size television, it wouldn't like fit right. Static electricity held it on.
Yeah, that's all it was. You just like plastered it up there.
Oh, so dumb.
That's so cool. You know who's really, really good at Starcast?
This is exciting. Look how cute it is.
How's the controller working?
Oh my god, it's awesome. It does play better than the original, I have to say. Which makes sense because no, it's shitty because I just died, but it's because I'm talking.
Scylla is really good at Star Castle.
Oh, is she?
Do you want to know skills at Star Castle? She's got this whole thing where she bounces. You got to do the bounce.
Oh yeah,
up and down bounce. Yeah.
Bounce thing.
That's how the experts play that game when I was a kid.
I've watched her play. She's fucking awesome at that
game. And then bounce and then recover and go back up.
Recovering and then killing guys at the same time, but taking out the other part.
Yeah, that's how I try to play it, but I suck at it. But yeah, that's a great strategy to play in the game. Wow, those little things really chase you down.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and I should probably pay more attention to what I'm doing. But
I wonder if there's difficulty levels.
It's so good.
Oh, this controller is awesome. I have to say, it definitely the joystick works. It's really nice. Makes me think I need to clean the other one.
Yeah, what's the care and feeding on a Vectrex? I mean, it's like you have to clean it.
As far as I can tell, you're just supposed to dust it once in a while.
All right.
Care and feeding. I didn't even get that joke for a minute. What are you talking about? Like, what are you fucking drunk, Andrew?
What's weird about the Vectrex, I will say, is that you fire with if you put your fingers on for all of these, your fire button is your pinky. Which is weird.
Wait, but what are your other buttons doing for start?
Thrust, right, and left.
All right.
So yeah, but for all of them, like the firing is with your pinky, and that just feels really weird. Yeah, but that's the way that all the games are. So it's, I guess once you get used to it, then it makes a lot of sense. But
then you're gonna have a really muscular pinky.
Yeah.
Why is that chick's pinky so fat?
Yeah,
it'll be perfect for when you use hyperspace and Defender.
Yeah.
Use that pinky. Use the pinky.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Right.
That's
cool.
That's right.
That's super cool. All right, I want to at least try out spin. I'm very curious what Spinball will look like, and then I'll give it a rest.
By the way, I heard you suggesting that you would take a shit in the same room for me earlier.
Yeah, you like that?
You hard.
Were you making dinner or something when I said that?
I was eating. Yeah, I was laughing.
All right,
we'll go back and hear that. Vectrex.
Wow, that was loud. All right.
I want one of these.
Me too.
My head.
I've always wanted one.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I wanted one. I got it in television instead.
I've always wanted one since like 3 weeks ago.
3 minutes ago. Like I'm totally.
I want one now for sure.
Yeah, like
it looks fun. I'll play it for a whole 10 minutes at least.
Oh, look at that's strong.
I would do what Carrie's planning on doing and bring it into the office.
Yeah, that is why I got it.
That is so many vectors that's drawing right now.
Right?
Machine.
Wow.
So there's a pause. Oh, look at that. So you pull back the plunger with the joystick. I'll be damned.
Who needs a monster bash?
Right? Oh, maybe not. Oh, but then maybe I fire it. There we go. And then you hit the fire button.
Oh my god, dude, that looks
look at that. Ah!
How do you control both flippers?
So the one of the buttons does one side and the other button shit. Not that one.
Sometimes it's the joystick and the button, which
so the joystick pulls the plunger back, and and I keep hitting the darn pause button.
Boo.
Oh, that's cool. That's super
like
cool.
fun.
Yeah, so you pull it back so you can adjust how far you're going to be pulling back the plunger, and then you hit it with the fire button to launch the ball.
Oh.
Fries are done.
Oh my god, I have a big stupid grin on my face right now. It's so cool.
It is cool.
We can do that in the reflection.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Right. Ooh, I caught it. Ah!
It's called cradling the ball.
Can you cradle it? Can you?
With a great amount of joy.
Tip right there, huh?
Oh yeah, she can totally cradle it. That's fucking amazing.
Can you do a post pass too?
Oh yeah. I cradled the ball right there for you guys.
How about a handover?
What about underhanded trackballs?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
It's not
Wow,
regress.
that's a throwback.
That's like that
Right?
5-year throwback.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching this shit. I don't know why.
Oh, no.
That was before we met up at Grinkers the first time.
Before Carrie and Jim were a thing.
True.
Yep.
Right. Jimbo was still living at his mother's place, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay.
Amazing.
All right.
Bart, don't confuse yourself.
Speaking of which, I think I hear my mother calling. I have to go now. Yeah, sorry. Bye, guys. No, I'm just kidding. I won't abandon you to go play my Vectrex, but oh my god, that's badass.
That looks so cool. I want one. That looks like fun.
Yeah,
I want to play Berserk and Scramble and Star Capsule and Star.
Scramble looks really good on it. I meant to get the overlay on that one, but I ended up not. But I'll get another one. The guy who I got the overlays from is going to be doing Warrior, and so when he comes out with a Warrior, I'll place it. I'll get a Scramble one too.
You need a 2-player for that one.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
You can just drive Jim into.
Yeah.
You're like punching your Vectrex though.
Yeah. Yeah. Take my controller. Bap.
Controller.
I know. I don't.
I like the telephone cord controller.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my unboxing and enveloping.
Super jelly. I think everyone here wants a Vectrex now.
It's cooler than I thought. Like
already,
I have to say, it was one of those like, oh yeah, this will be fun. I could take it to the office. But then when I played it, I was like, oh my god, this is really good. It's really fun. I'm super.
You know what? I'm watching Star Trek. It's not just left and right like it is in the arcade. It's more like you fly around and shoot stuff. Here, I'll put it in the link here.
Good.
It's like looks like Star Raiders. Do you remember Star Raiders on yeah, Atari, I think it was. Check out my link, just jump ahead a little bit and you can see that
Raiders.
I don't know, it looks like that you go forward and backwards because sometimes the bullets go backwards if you go in reverse.
Oh yeah.
I actually played it a fair amount when it was one of the first games I started playing when I got it.
Oh totally. It has a Z.
It's fun.
Yeah, like sometimes he goes in reverse and the bullets go away from him. Oh.
Yeah, because like Star Trek is just like straight like XY, right?
It's just not XY, but like just on the X axis.
Yeah.
Axes. You don't go in Z, I guess, if you're going forward.
Z is implied, yeah. So
yeah.
Why?
Yeah, but you just don't go up and down at all. This is sort of like an actual space game. We're actually flying around. That's pretty cool.
That's badass.
Oh wow! You can shoot their bullets before they hit you. That's
like
neat
Star
too.
Wars.
Well,
yeah, like Star Wars.
Am I mistaken? Does Seabart actually have a game turned on? He has a working game.
Yes, I do.
Oh, he's playing track and field.
There he goes.
Oh, I don't look for that.
Anyways, back to the Vectrex.
7.
Seabart, your dirty sweatpants? What are you wearing there?
That's my high school.
No, I'm talking about your pants.
Sweatpants.
Hot.
Space pants.
Super hot.
Your mom needs to wash those.
Have you guys seen Space Pants?
She hasn't done my laundry since I was 16. So let that be
Those-
a lesson to all your
those things are
teenagers out there.
filthy.
At age 16, I was doing my own laundry. So if you're 20 or in your late teens or still in high school and doing your own shit, yeah, do some laundry now and then.
My mom hasn't done my laundry in 10 years. They're fucking filthy.
Space pants.
They still smell fine. Hold on.
Oh, God.
Smell test. They're fine.
You gotta check out Peter Dinklage and Space Pants.
Oh, shit.
Space pants.
Wash your shorts.
Check out my
I'm
Space
dead.
Pants.
He's dead.
All right.
I got the fucking bird.
Space Pants.
Rated R.
The chat is giving you the bird right now.
Sorry, I had to plug in the printer and it turned on, so I went, oh, shit, I'll play it.
Yeah,
It's not as cool as the Vectrex.
I know it's not, but it turned on. It's like, shit.
Gary, do they-
I think the
Track and
Vectrex is
field?
better than my Monster Bash.
Do they have track and field on your Vectrex?
To my knowledge,
Yeah, they
no.
probably do. It's a homebrew.
Somebody might have done it.
Take that, you.
Do they have eyes on there? I'm in.
You mean potatoes?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
that's
it's a
right.
homebrew. You're right. Yeah.
I think they do have don't they have like a rip off of Pac-Man of some sort? I think they do something.
They've got to have some sort of pay, like
Yeah, they do have one that was a kind of a Pac-Man ripoff. I forgot what the name of that one was.
Let's see if I can find it.
pack tricks.
Lead sweep. That's what it's called.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, it's too bad Crafty's not on here. I was going to show him what his bit kit looks like on a 55-inch.
Yeah.
TV.
So Jimbo, you got some stories to tell, right?
Yeah.
I do. Now I've started fucking playing with a remote overlay that has all the little fucking die cut. So you have to, for each button, you have to
Hate
pull
that.
them off. Yeah.
Oh man, are you replacing an old one or something?
Yeah, well, so the remote I have is in Japanese, and I don't.
Oh,
speak
geez.
Japanese. So
my God.
they have English overlay for
For Americans
for
in the UK,
for other people.
English.
So you spilt some Never Too Hungover on it, did you?
Yeah. No, I would never spill that. I'd spill alcohol, but
That's right, yeah.
That's a saving grace. You don't spill that.
Number 2 is fucking.
Oh,
right.
speaking of never too hungover, so I was talking about that rescue water last week.
Yeah.
So Carrie was here over the weekend, and we got pretty lit. We were at a birthday party on Saturday. No, Sunday. I think you took. Was that Sunday that you tried the rescue water? It was one of the days.
Yeah, no, I think it was Saturday. It was Saturday. I don't
Okay.
remember. Yeah.
Anyways, so ultimately, we will not be switching to rescue water.
Oh, right.
It basically smells and tastes the exact same as Never Two, except you're talking 8 ounces instead of like 3.5.
Yeah.
So Carrie was really struggling to get to drink that whole fucking bottle. And then of course you're talking 70 calories versus 5, a shit ton of sugar and all these other things. So like it has nothing good. It has nothing good going for it.
Yeah.
We already
More
have
sugar
like,
and a can of Coke.
Yeah.
More sugar than a can of Coke, we determined.
No way, really?
Yep.
It totally tastes like if you took Never Two and then just added some water to it.
And
So
does
you
make
get to
it
really
good,
enjoy
drink
the
it.
taste for that much longer.
I can glug it.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
It's basically it's like they took Never Too Hungover and they duplicated it and added some sugar and carbs.
Yeah.
And water. Yeah.
They tried to duplicate it, but then they added more sugar to make it more tasty. Which
All right. So what we need like a
And
sponsor,
it doesn't taste better apparently.
a sponsor to come along who can make a better one, or can we do that? Can we have a arcade hangout?
We're gonna go into the lab and
Yeah, why not?
Deformulate.
Obviously, you guys have like tried that one. That one didn't work.
Reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
We just got to add one more thing to it, so it's
what
ours.
are the ingredients that make it not taste like Richard Simmons' ball sweat?
I say we add sugar to it, and then add some water.
I would opt to add some fat to it because that'll make it taste good too.
How do you
Not non-trans fat, because you can't have too much bad fat or cholesterol, whatever the hell it's called.
Be like creamy.
Oh God,
that would fit the show.
Can we call it never too hungover because they don't call it that anymore?
If they don't call it anymore, it's up for lease.
Yeah, up for grabs.
We'll have to talk to the Arcade Hangout legal team on that, but
yeah,
we're a big corporation now. We have lawyers.
Yeah, Carrie, get on that.
Stop playing the Vectrex and figure this shit out.
Yeah, put the Vectrex down.
Priorities.
So the hangout here is 2 balls of Gatorade and a medium-sized pizza.
Let's call it doesn't taste like Richard Simmons' ball sack.
Not Richard Simmons' ball sack.
Actually, a pretty low hurdle.
Taste a bit better than.
Just a little bit better than what we have right now.
Hey, you know what? Mule in chat has it right. Never too hung.
Yeah.
It describes the show in a nutshell.
What are you trying to say? Oh wait, that kind of hung.
There. Oh, hung. It's everything's abbreviations. So back in the day, it used to be a reverend. Then it went down to Rev. Pretty soon it's going to be R. Hey, R. What's up? Nice preaching to the pulpit. So never too hungovers now. Never hung.
I am not going to drink called never hung. I want all my drinks to be hung.
Just like your laundry.
And my dick.
I do that in the summer. It's cheaper than drying.
Just like my buddy Jim.
Hey, all right.
I want him properly hung.
Hey-o.
It's
The
not
remote
a
is
big
done.
ask.
Did you know that you could spit Neocitrin back into your coffee cup?
Ew.
I just learned that.
Never too hung sounds like someone who should be driving like Carrie's. What was that? The Defender joystick.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, the little sad.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell is that?
Nub.
Yeah.
Nub
Why don't we call it? You don't totally feel like shit in the morning.
Yeah.
Never feel like butt.
Never too hung means like I like little dicks.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Dave. He's like
Dave's
sick of
like,
it. I gotta
go. He's like, oh boy, it's so true.
Wait a minute.
That's so true.
Mr. Dave, as the only boy from the Eastern Time Zone, drinkers next year. Are we going to have a Bud off?
Yeah, I'm Bud Light though. Bud, I can't.
Oh, you can't handle it?
Oh, I can handle anything.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
I know where I'm at always. With
Can your underwear handle it?
Actually, we saw Dave from Buffalo drinking some high ABV. Was it Treehouse?
Was it in the car?
Monkish? No, this is the shit out the
We're
raft.
in a car. Roadies?
The raft, like you were drinking like the
the raft. Yeah, I didn't see that club post when they put the dress on me. That was pretty funny. I was like, "Oh, you bastard!" But I want the one of me dancing. I want that.
Hi,
Like,
I'm Polly the penis, and I just love to have fun.
That's some Porky's. God, that's a way back.
dude, was Porky's the one where they had the dick in the hot dog bun?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they were pulling it, and it's like you got a hot dog.
Hot dog bun? No.
No. That was
What
Bachelor
movie was
Party.
that?
Bachelor Party.
Oh, that was
There you
Bachelor
go.
Party.
It's called Nick the Dick.
Yes, there you go. I knew you would know.
I
That
had
was all
a
dick references.
schlong in my hands.
Oh yeah, no. Porky's was the dick in the shower.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hole
Shower
with that. really
Isn't
mad.
it funny that
Beulah Ball Breaker?
ball breaker?
Oh, hang on, hold still, man. One of them's coming for it. She's almost got it. Almost got it.
She's got it. I like how his butt like sucks to the wall, like it's yeah.
Well, it was funny. There was an interview with some of the actors. There was a reunion, like a 30-year whatever Porky's reunion, and they were talking about how when they were making that movie, they didn't think it would even get to theaters, that it would even get released. So they're just shooting all these scenes and stuff because like, chances are they're going to cut all this stuff anyways, and so let's just go with it. And most of it made it in. So
that's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. Kind of set the standard for teen comedies. Yeah, like raunchy teen comedies.
Yeah, that was kind of like the first one that I can think of that was a raunchy teen comedy.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Porky's, but I snuck watching some of it.
Yeah,
I always thought that like American Pie was basically Porky's and Animal House merged together.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought American Pie was hilarious. The first.
Wait, Tara Carey's trying to say something.
Oh, I thought
you had your Vectrex moment.
Carrie, you're done.
Go play with your vectors. I saw Porky's with my dad. I don't think he knew what it was. We saw it in the theater.
He was probably awkward.
Carrie, I got you by one. The first time I saw Porky's was at my grandparents' house.
Oh God!
Wow.
Yeah. So
I looked at bushes together.
It was on. They had cable TV, and it was just on. And
it was like, oh yeah, I saw Fast Times with my mom and dad for the first time. It was on our movie channel, and like, oh, I've been wanting to watch this.
That's almost more awkward.
Yeah, it was because it's especially the dugout scene is pretty brutal.
That's a little more realistic than like a teen comedy.
Yeah.
You know,
but you know what? My parents were totally like they're all in. They're like, yeah, that's pretty much what an asshole would do.
Yeah,
that's why she should have used a rubber.
And that's why Mock is a happily married man.
Nice.
That's why Mock got the job at the stereo store.
No,
nice, Dave.
Like my mom was like very progressive when it came to that stuff, so she was pretty.
Same here. It was pretty open.
We had the books as little kids, like with the illustrated drawings of like what a teenage person
penis
like, and was.
I love how they would explain stuff like what it feels like to have your penis touched. It's like it feels like you're being tickled with a feather.
Oh God,
that one!
Wow,
you're like, really? Is that what it feels like?
Way better than mine.
What a ripoff!
See, this is what separates us from the normal arcade shows is that we just go right for the throat, so to speak.
Fuck your feather! It's much better when I just like pull on it.
Yeah.
Oh, no more Yankee me winky.
Feathers, I know.
Have you seen those really funny old propaganda? Need food. The old propaganda films that are like catching your son masturbating, how you're supposed to handle it and stuff.
Oh, my mom caught me. She did it really well. She was do that, but don't do that. You have to do that in privacy of your room, not in the living room.
Oh, no.
Oh, come on, man. Gary, the water was right. Mom, I never.
Oh, listen, I'm going to tell you the masturbation. How Dave learned how to masturbate.
The water was
Listen, I need the floor for this one.
Okay, he needs. Yeah, don't.
Good.
How Dave learned how to masturbate. I was always tall. All right, this has something to say.
Representative from Buffalo has the floor.
So I was a tall kid.
You guys, come on.
I was I could wear the same bowling shoes. I could wear them now that I wore in 8th grade. So I grew to 5'10", like 8th grade. Then I stopped growing. So I quickly grew. So as in I think it was 2nd grade, 3rd grade, I was tall sitting at a desk. I can't believe I'm fucking going to tell this, but who gives a shit? So I'm sitting there and I moved at one point and my dick had rubbed on the desk. So I started rubbing it on the desk in class. Like I'm literally like hanging, just rubbing my dick on the desk in class. I'm not kidding. So I remember once at home, I'm like, God, I wish I had a desk here. And
I need a desk.
Rubbing my dick, and I'm like, it works. Oh my God.
Mind blown, among other things.
Ever. You don't know.
Among other things.
What grade was that?
Pro tip.
Well, second, I think in third grade was big time rubbing on the desk. I remember the teacher going, "Can somebody pick up Dave's pencil? It's on the ground." And I'm like, Dave's leaning.
That's not his pencil.
Yeah.
He's like glued to the desk. He just can't leave.
Oh, it was the best.
Someone help Dave.
Dave, you just brought me back to like an amazing story of my childhood that I had never thought about. But like in I don't know, second or third grade. And I don't know why, and I can't explain why this worked, but like I remember walking home from school. So school was like 5 blocks away, and we lived in like a traditional downtown neighborhood where like we knew all of our neighbors. Like trick or treating was like awesome because we knew everyone. And I remember like walking home from school in second and third grade and getting like halfway and being like, I got to take a piss. And I remember walking down the street, and I was like, well, fuck it. Pulled my little dick out.
Right in the middle of the street?
Walking down the street.
How old
I see people like that all the time.
Second, third grade. So this is like, I don't know.
7, 8?
7, 8.
Yeah, seventh, eighth grade.
7th, 8th grade.
Age 7 or 8 years old.
7 or 8 years. So pull my dick out. And I was like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to piss and walk. And why this made sense, I don't know. But there was certainly no sense of like, I need to be quiet about it. But I remember like walking down the street, and this was like probably like every day for 2 or 3 months. And I was like, once I realized the first day, it's like pull my dick out and just walk down the street and just piss. As I was
like a windshield wiper.
All right,
that's
this
pretty
is
funny.
an story too, right? So like, but every step I took, it swung to the left, and then it swung to the right. And so I thought it was really funny because I was basically making these Z's as I was walking down the street, like broad daylight, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Making Z's.
Making Z's. Just walking down the street.
Like Zorro.
And then put it away.
I just posted the IRC.
Andrew's story is a G version of my story.
I'm sorry.
I just invited everyone in the IRC to comment on our YouTube video after this is done and post their earliest masturbation stories.
I wasn't.
Well, next week we're all going to talk about when we got molested by our uncles.
Okay. I've only had this happen once.
All right, let Andrew talk.
Walking down the street. Who invited me in after I was walking? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God. I was like, Andrew, no, this isn't the forum.
No, say that. That's like that. But it was just like you like talking about like masturbation.
Oh yeah.
Thinking about like dick stuff like that young. And I was like, I wouldn't even think twice. Like you just pull that shit out and just walk down the street, and I thought it was hilarious.
Well, yeah, in third grade, usually you just like pee on a bush or something. Though I don't think about like walking out public with it all out and everyone's looking and.
It occurred to me like
and making Z's.
Making Z's. Yeah, exactly.
Figure eights.
It's probably a safer show title than cock ring, which I think is the other option for it.
Oh wow!
It was the front runner until
making Z's.
Walking with it, hanging out,
making Z's.
Yeah,
making Z's. Yeah.
Figure eight.
Brad in edit episode title is making Z's.
Yeah,
I like figure eight,
and we are not talking about.
We haven't been doing show titles for a while. We need to put them.
Someone in the chat says I need a desk. I thought that was kind of funny because I'm not.
I need a desk.
Masturbation thing obviously is awesome.
Third grade Dave was like,
kind of desk.
Yeah.
So
but like I'm just taking a piss, really.
Yeah.
How about this? Yeah. Fourth grade, it might have been the only time in my life. I'm 47, where in the bathroom.
In fourth grade, you're 47.
Yeah, I was 47 now. But in fourth grade, when the zipper caught it, I've only had it happen. Oh my god,
Franks and beans, Franks and beans.
Oh,
I think I did that. I think I did that
about
a couple
Mary
times,
all the
bro.
way, and I remember it like it was yesterday.
Makes
I was
like
like,
instant
I was
tears
so
to your
scared.
eyes.
It hurts more pain than I've ever had in my little fourth grade body.
And bleeds.
And I'm just looking at it. And then I did pull, and then it got out. But I was like, "Oh my god!"
You lose like your breath.
It got out.
It's only been like once. That was once in my life. I guess you learn your lesson hard. Literally.
Yeah.
But it was.
If you caught in the zipper, it must have been some form of hard.
So Andrew,
you were
fourth grade. Where the little.
Now that we're walking back to our Airbnb, I'm going to be telling Andrew, go make Z's.
On request, I will make Z's.
Z's. Come on, you can be more creative.
I'm going to be back at Greeker sitting at Steve's desk. Dave's back there at the desk. Get him out! Get him out! He's at the desk.
No!
Why is
handwriting?
Why is Dave making funny faces in the back room of Grinkers?
Yeah, somebody pick up the pencil he dropped.
Yeah, exactly.
Calligraphy Z's.
Brings a whole new idea to a desk job.
Oh, it sounds great to me.
Desk job, what's that?
I actually kind of had a weird experience with some dude with his balls in public. Balls in public, like that's just a fucked up.
Ew.
So is this the locker room?
Literally today. Well, no, it wasn't a locker room story, but it was in public, which is actually even more awkward. So I was walking home, and as I was passing under the bridge, the train tracks, this dude who's walking with, I think, his wife, right? Walking along, and the dude, you're walking on the street, like you just, maybe you make eye contact, maybe you don't, you just say hello or whatever. The dude like looks over at me from like about 10 feet away. We lock eyes, and at that point, he reaches down and adjusts himself.
Oh God!
Right, full eye contact.
Oh, that's awkward.
Right? I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. At that point, he decides I need to fix my shit. Reaches down.
This guy's cute.
Yeah, was he cute?
No. No, I wish. Right?
Damn.
And I'm wondering, like, he full on does like a full on adjustment down there.
Yeah.
Not a quick like scritch. He's like,
yeah.
Shit's right and left. I need it to be right and right. He makes that adjustment.
Stinky shift.
The whole time making eye contact with me. And then just keeps walking. And that like reaches like sort of like the code of conduct. It's like it would be like if you were standing at a urinal and you talk, right? It's cool. Like you're side by side.
But you look forward.
But
you look forward at all times. Right? You don't look down and go, you got a nice big cock.
You don't cut that shit out.
Wow, you were shortchanged.
You don't do that shit, right? You
no, there's etiquette. There's etiquette to that stuff.
You're like outlining. You're playing like fucking Tetris on the tiles in front of you, or you're doing something else. But you're not.
Wow, this ad for real estate is really
interesting. The P spot. There's that bullseye right in front of your eyes.
Right in front.
Stare there. Yeah, you don't deviate.
You only look down to aim, and then
you look down. Or you look straight ahead, but you don't look side to side.
It's Carrie. We're learning things.
Yeah, I know, right? This is a very educational episode.
So it would be like that. It would be
aim for the toilet cake.
Yeah.
Right. Todd has a hairy penis. Oh, that's cute. Who wrote that on the wall? That's cute.
Yeah. You talk about the shit on the wall, the graffiti, but you don't side to side. Side to side
big hairy pussy.
Yeah.
But this,
Lisa,
I love that.
He's inviting me into his adjustment with eye contact.
That's creepy. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is odd.
That is
even weirder if he like gave you a little kiss, in the air.
Well, and like
no, a tongue flapper.
It's some sort of secret code for like swingers.
Like he looks at his wife. I'll dump her in a minute.
Right?
Did he give you the nod?
Like, hey, shish kebab.
No. Shish kebab.
Whatever you're into, you'll take a shit in the same room.
No, but like as we passed, it's like he's still looking, and it was like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Hey,
That was a lot of
that is weird.
down there.
Hold on, I have some breaking news from Stranger Things season 3.
Oh.
I just posted a GIF of.
It's exclusive here. You heard it here, folks.
Hello and welcome to the Arcade Hangout newscast. The swivel, so you know it's official. So Stranger Things 3 just at Stranger_Things just released Almost Feeding Time. And it's a GIF of rats running back and forth. So if you follow at Stranger Things, maybe they're getting close to releasing a little something called Season 3, which I'm sure a few of us have been waiting for way too long.
Is that always October when they do that?
I think it's still going to be a while until they release that, isn't it?
Yeah, but they've been making more and more hints.
Yeah, Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I want Cobra Kai.
That's what I'm going to hear.
That's next month.
Big Mouth Season 3 and Stranger 2.
I'm waiting
Stranger
for
Things 3 is what I want.
Handmaid's Tale, Game of Thrones. There's a bunch of shows I'm waiting for.
Fuck Game of Thrones.
What?
I have never seen one episode of that.
Well, that means it must be horrible then.
I did that fucking. I was telling you, I do that fucking video of the teaser trailer for Cobra Kai season 2, and like in like 4 days, it's like 5,000-6,000. Like it's stupid. It's just like you just create your own clickbait. Arcade videos are a labor of love. That's all they are.
Yep. It's just like this show.
July 4. That seems to be the official release date.
I watch every one of your arcade videos.
For what, Stranger Things?
For Stranger Things.
So you're viewed 111 out of 110. No, it's
wow.
Okay, besides Seabard, is everybody else watching Game of Thrones?
Yeah, no. I get no views.
I don't have HBO.
Oh.
There you go.
I would like to watch
cable. No cable.
I get it for Game of Thrones and then I quit it.
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, my daughter ordering HBO. I got to cancel that shit.
Oh, that's right.
Because there's a 7-day. So if you guys want to watch that Michael Jackson thing, it's a 7-day free trial. So you can just
we don't.
Jump. I know, Jim, you don't care about it, but everybody else.
We know he did. We don't need the information.
But
it's pretty funny.
And last week, because we talked about American Gods, Jim and I were trying to remember, like, what else did we talk about?
That's a crazy show.
And then was there another series that you had recommended or somebody recommended that other than obviously the Michael Jackson?
Yeah, that was one I can remember.
Well, I have the Ricky Gervais thing, but like I don't know if that was really a recommendation. That was Afterlife, but it's dark and fucked up comedy.
Ricky Gervais said some things in real life that kind of pissed me off, and I have trouble with him now. So
yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I still think Louis C.K. is funny, no matter.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
I hate what he's done because, like, I think that's really super fucked up. But
what did he do? Can you give me the cliff notes of Louis C.K.?
Jerk off in front of women and make people look at it.
Oh, women he would date?
Oh, it's like Silence of the Lambs.
Random people. He would be just like he got caught or got called out, basically just masturbating in front of women who didn't want him to masturbate in front of him.
Recently?
Yeah, very well. Over the course of his career, he's done it a few times.
But with these like women, he was like, it's gross either way. But with these women, like, come back to my hotel room.
He did it with a lot of different women.
He just pulls out his dick. It's not. He's doing it in public. Is he doing it in public or is private? I thought I was just going to talk to him and have
semi-private. Yeah,
semi-private, where it's like, wait a minute, we weren't at that point yet.
Hey,
your dick.
I can talk about your career, and then he's like,
he skipped the making out to like let me just beat off.
Well, it's not just that, but
it's more like let's have a business meeting, and what do you know?
Sarah Silverman talked about it, because they've been friends like since they were like really young. They go way back, and she said that sometimes he would just be so horny, he'd be like, "Hey, do you mind if I just pull it out and
jerk off,
bust one out?" And she goes, "Yeah, I don't care." And she kind of wanted to see him do it.
Funny, but like, at the same time, it's like Sarah Silverman's like kind of funny and weird like that too.
Yeah, like, and she's known him forever. But other women that aren't used to that, we like, what the fuck? Put that away, because he'd do it like without consent. He wouldn't.
My ex used to tell me that all the time. Put that away.
Put that away. There's no need for that here.
It's been 2 months. I paid off your debt. Come on now. Put it away.
Hey, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Yeah. Way to bring it back around.
Didn't work either. Didn't work either.
It's my birthday. I deserve this.
That's right. Just not at Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not in the living room, young Dave.
Yeah.
Can't do it inside the racing cabinet here.
What about a cockpit?
Oh, nice.
Ding.
Oh, I see the 100 was good on Netflix. That sounds familiar.
What about Shameless? Anybody seen that one on Netflix?
I haven't seen it in years. I watched it for a number of years, but then I stopped watching at some point.
Yeah.
Because it used to be on like HBO or Showtime or one of those.
Showtime.
HBO for the first 2 seasons.
Showtime.
Oh, it was Showtime?
Yeah. Showtime is Shameless.
I thought it was HBO.
No, because I was the Dexter. I'm still in the Homeland and the Affair.
Homeland was good.
Okay, for a minute there, I thought you said Heartland, and then I'd have some severe questions about your mentality.
Oh.
Heartland is a Canadian TV series. It's basically equestrian. It's all about horses and farm life in Alberta.
Fartland?
Oh, you know. Oh, you betcha.
Heart.
Or A. There we go.
Heartland.
Fartland.
Okay, who gave the 10-year-old the soundboard access?
Wait, my favorite one.
No, that sounded a little moist. You might want to check the replay on that.
No, this one's moist.
Oh, that is.
All right, I just canceled HBO. Whew.
Nicely done.
Close one.
So, Mock, if you go to your remote control for your cable box, you can change that password from 4 zeros to any code you want, and they can't order any more channels.
Oh, you mean put a lockdown thing on it? Yeah.
Parental controls.
Oh, parental controls.
Parental controls. You may have to have your wife do that because, well, you need a parent or an adult to do it.
Yeah. I might not be capable.
Well, it's parental controls, and when you get married, come on. You wear the pants.
I get it.
You wear the pants, but she tells you what leg to put in first.
I get it.
Yeah. That's enough.
My very the ones you have to explain. That's crazy, Bart.
I said good day.
I got it. Fuck.
So, Jim? Do we get to see any progress on your project?
Yeah, well, I tried to maybe tempt Crafty into coming on because he was tonight I was working right before the show. That's why I got on a little bit late. I was working on wiring up my eyes cabinet, which obviously has my eyes PCB, but also has the bit kit. And I still need to do I still need to wire up the audio. That's actually the easiest part of it because it's just a couple of Molexes that you have to crimp. But I just tested the video, so I'm running the BitKit now. It's got the little screensaver thing going. But
what does the BitKit play then? For the you got it on the TV as well.
Yeah, it's got
what games are playing? 30
everything.
All the Rockola, is that what is?
Yeah, I don't have the latest update because honestly, I don't play a lot of. There's like maybe 4 games that I'll play in it, but multi-games and me just we're not a thing. We tried to date for a little while and then it just didn't work out.
Mame said he wanted to see other people.
Yeah.
What's the retail for? Like from the crafting?
Well, I know that he had a sale recently. I don't know. We need to get Aaron on here.
That's right.
Because if he doesn't come on here, I'm going to say what his sale price was, and that was $149. And that his thing has it's 20 or 30 slots, and there's more games than slots available on the BitKit. Meaning a slot you can put a game on there. You can load a game that's supported. And so I have I don't know 15 or 20 games on here. You know, all the big ones: Nibbler, Eyes, Vanguard, Beastie Feasty, The Glob,
which are awesome.
I like Beastie Feasty.
Yeah, Beastie Feasty rocks. The little testicle hopping along.
Yeah, pushing elevator buttons.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And squishing people or creatures. Squishing bunny rabbits.
It's awesome. Yeah, I ran a bunch of tests, and I even used his TPG as a test to see if I could get that to, and that works just fine. And but yeah, so I just finished getting this all wired up. Actually, here, let me.
I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back.
Yep.
What was pushing the elevator buttons?
Testicle. Little
Okay,
testicle sack.
I just put Nibbler on here.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't hearing things.
Yeah. No, it totally does. That's what it is.
Yep. So so now my eyes cabinet is done. You can see I've got there's a Nibbler on the TV. Basically, I plug things into the TV to test it to see if it works on there. It's gonna work in my capture card, so that's why I plug it on there. Plus, it's kind of just cool to see one of these games upscaled
beautifully.
So right now there's Nibbler. But one thing that through this whole experimentation process that I've come to learn is how different arcade games are from console stuff. Not in the hardware. Well, yeah, in the hardware, but in how the video signal is.
Refresh.
Because
rates,
because consoles are pretty much locked at NTSC or PAL standards because they're meant to be played on people's TVs. But arcade games, they're all over the place. They range anywhere. So we're used to 60 hertz, 60 frames a second. In PAL, it's 50. But you'll get games that, like for instance, Arkanoid runs at 59.18 hertz, and then like Miss Pac-Man, a lot of the vertical games will run at like 60.55, somewhere in that range. Now, that's fine for CRTs. They have a big tolerance for obscure refresh rates. Like you could, for instance, a lot of the shoot 'em ups, like the Raiden games and stuff like that. Ireme, and there's a couple of other like Sabuki or whatever. They run at 54, and that's fine for some CRTs. But for our new modern displays, or your computer monitors, your flat panel TVs, all that stuff,
very locked.
They're very locked in. They're very specific. It has to be right at 60 hertz. Yep. It has to be right at this. And so even at like 60.55, even like anything basically above or below 0.5 off of 60. So like if you had 59 point, like for instance, one like my Arkanoid, or 50 or 60.55 or beyond, they start having a little bit of problems. And now the devices I'm using, like that OSSC and stuff, there's settings that you can tailor to make it more forgiving. But ultimately, if you go too outside of that spec, you start getting like jittery frames and stuff that it just can't keep up with. So
like jittery or tearing, or like, well, how does it display?
I don't get, now with the OSSC, at least the box I've got, I don't get any tearing, but you'll start to get real subtle. Now Arkanoid's very, very subtle. I figured out the settings to get it really minimalized, but you'll get a little bit of stuttering. So like every couple seconds, it might just it looks like a frame drop almost.
Yeah.
It's very, very subtle. I got it to the point where I can live with it now. But you'll start getting weird shit like that.
And how much variance or like adjustability in the software is there for you to be able to handle the?
Oh, there's none.
None.
All
right.
So you can in the settings on the hardware and the box and stuff, you can play at the threshold of like there's a couple settings: horizontal tolerance, vertical sync threshold. There's a couple of things that you can get it, because when I first did Arkanoid, like I was so used to Miss Pac-Man, Toki, they all went without a hitch. I get to Arkanoid, and I'm not getting any picture, nothing on the screen. I'm like, I verified. Wow. I'm like, I got everything wired up just fine. Well, I'm not getting anything. And so two things happened. I realized after talking to the creator, who actually responds on one of these forums, he said, "Oh, adjust these settings, and then also use a different input." So I was using the VGA style connect, the D sub 15 for connecting from the splitter to, because so my splitter device outputs via a 15 pin D sub, which to everyone else it's basically a VGA like your computer style connector. And the OSSC has a VGA input, so I was just running it directly in there. Well, with that device, it also has a SCART connector, which, if you're not familiar, in Japan and in Europe, they have a straight up, basically an RGB style connector. It's a big fat connector like this big. So that device also has that style connector in it, and evidently that input has way more better filters and options and handles the signal better. So I made over the weekend, I made
awesome.
Yeah, I bought
I
the.
want to see it.
Yeah,
that's fucking badass. Because I remember like old school RGB monitors, like you'd have to have like separate like computer monitors, not arcade monitors, but like computer monitors. You have separate like D sub connectors.
So I did a shit ton of research, and the funny thing about, so now the VGA style connector, that's RGB.
Yeah.
This is also RGB, and so in theory you can wire a pad. Now they also make expensive converters, but the thing is that since I ultimately I gambled with this because it was so cheap, but the split fire device that I've got buffers and amplifies the signal. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, this isn't technically VGA. This is RGB, even though it's in the package of D sub 15, but it's not a VGA signal.
It's a VGA connector, but it's not it's an RGB connector.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm thinking, okay, this is already a buffered signal. I should be able to passively just pass this. And so I looked up some wiring schematics, and then bought just the ends, this end. And actually I just cut off the cable.
That connector right there that you're showing.
Yeah. So
look at that shit.
Yeah. So look at all these big ass pins. I mean, that thing.
Big ass pins.
That's what I wanted to see. That's fucking badass.
So
Andrew's got a boner over pins.
So I lopped off one of these VGA. I had a bunch of VGA cables. I lopped off one that I knew was shielded because there's actually pins for the shielding in here, so that you don't have any noise.
Look at that. That's hot.
So I soldered. You can just solder this up. It cost me $4 for these connectors. I had to get them. I found a place. I had to get them actually from Europe, but they showed up really quick. And then plugged it all in, and it worked. And I noticed right away. The first test I did was with Toki because that was my first game, and the signal looks even better. Like it's super clean.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's a pure RGB connector. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry, real quick, just a fast interjection, and I'll go back to you, Jim.
Yeah.
So used to be so when my company back in California had our first SGI computer, and actually Gleek would probably appreciate this more than most of you guys, but like the monitor that we got from SGI to do 3D graphics work, and actually Mock, maybe you appreciate this too, but the first monitor that we got from SGI, it had a specific RGB input for a computer monitor. Like this is still back in the day when it was like VGA was the old D.
Yeah, it was like RF or maybe composite.
That was a standard, right? So, but it actually had a separate breakout cable to do RGB sync separately on the monitor.
Sweet.
I think I remember that. There was like a little dial, right?
Yeah, they're kind of like a Dragon's Lair. So it's those style connections where it's like you plug it in, where it's almost like a what am I thinking of? Like the cable connections.
Oh, so just one cable for red, one cable for green.
I mean, they were RGB separate connections and a sync separate as well. But it's like you're plugging in a monitor, and it's like you have those sort of like
BNC.
BNC, thank you very much. I'm sorry, I was losing. Yeah, so BNC style connections on the
They
back.
plug it and they twist and lock.
Yeah, so you.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
And then
field monitors use those. Studio monitors use those.
Yeah. They like RGB sync, and they were all separate connections on the monitor, so the monitor's like super high quality.
Yeah,
some of the first color security monitors use that as well.
So like what we're used to is like either like think of like your NES or your Nintendo or whatever, they would use like here a lot of times it was an RF, it was a stupid little coaxial thing, or it was like, if you're lucky, you would maybe get the yellow composite. Over there back at the same time, Europe and fucking Japan, they're using a fucking straight up RGB signal. So they had it good from the get-go.
Right.
And this is their standard. All their TVs and stuff would have this.
They still have that?
Yeah.
They don't use HDMI?
They still use that?
They still have these. Yeah, they still have
for the
RGB.
televisions. No, but they're not using like Mock said. They're not using HDMI.
Well, yeah, but I mean, these are readily available still over there.
I was so happy when HDMI was announced. I'm like, fucking finally.
Yeah,
let's all be on the same page. And
right. Let's send audio and video down the same fucking simple connector and not be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, just boom, done.
It was tedious to solder this fucker, but it worked out the best. Like, to make sure that nothing was connected, touching the other stuff. But
I can't believe also the advancements in TVs. Like I told you guys, I got that big TV for my birthday, but I've got a Yamaha sound bar for it. I didn't want to mess with the surround sound system. I've done that before. I'm gonna do a sound bar this time. See how that goes. And not only that, when you plug it in, the system recognizes what it is. It feels like that's a PC or something. It says, "Oh, you have a Yamaha soundbar," and then and then the remote for the TV actually switches it to now that's for the sound, and it shuts the TV sound off. So,
that's some magic shit.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Now, if I can only get the government to stop spying on me through it,
I know, right? If only they would stop listening to me when I was fucking.
Yeah, so I've been going through the BitKit and trying, because each game, because I can look at on the LCD display on my OSSC, every game on the BitKit, I can look and see, hey, what refresh rate does that game run at? What refresh rate? And then I can watch it on TV.
I love you're talking about that today on Slack. Like, that's super cool. Just seeing the various
like
refresh rates.
Nibbler, Vanguard. There's a handful of games that are perfect, like absolutely run locked in, like right at 60 hertz. And then like Eyes, which is no surprise, runs on Pac-Man because it runs on Pac-Man hardware, is very similar to Miss Pac-Man and stuff. So but every game that I've tried works. So I've basically got, so next up will be, after I'm done with Eyes, with getting the audio done, then Cheyenne might be a little bit of a curveball. Because it runs a separate horizontal and vertical, I think, positive sync, but it has, according to the schematics, it's got a composite sync output, which plays much better with my splitter. Gab Plus I know already works because that was one of my early test subjects, and then Super Hang-On. I think the most complicated one's going to be the Red Tent, because not only do I have to face a Nintendo inverted video signal, because those use inverted. I haven't quite figured out how I'm gonna how I'm gonna do that. Like, and I don't know this. I haven't been able to find any information. But if those Nintendo inverter boards on the monitors can output, because they have two ports. They have one for non-inverted and one for inverted signals. Ideally, if they could output both simultaneously, if they're both like live, or if it's just one versus one or the other, that would be perfect. All my problems would be solved. But if it's only one or the other, then I have to start thinking, do I need another inverter board for each monitor? And then, since everything's so fucking tight in there, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to remove a monitor just to start tinkering with that stuff to make my little extensions. Because everything's so compact, and the back of the monitors face each other. So it's like, it's so tight in there. And then the other question is, I was telling Carrie, I'm like, where where do I put my extension harness for easy access? Do I put it in the actual coin box? Because I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be either side. Like you may have to like lift up one side.
Yeah, or I guess I could put both of them out by the panel for the power supply that opens up.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you've got
that might work.
You have an early cabinet.
Yeah.
All right. So sweet. Yeah. So you've got a
so
separate.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the other thing that I think, and I'm saving that one for last. That is that's going to be the more
that one's going to be a pain in the ass. Yeah,
that one's going to be a pain.
Right, but like you got to solve if you're going to make product out of this. Like figure out some way to at least a kit that you can like talk about. Like Nintendo games, you got to be able to support Donkey Kong and
Jim's
and
retro
I have no idea
capture kit.
All the Nintendo.
Yeah, well, then the
Punch
thing
Out
is
for that
that
matter. Like I want to see. I mean, how can you handle 2 screens for Punch Out?
Right.
Oh,
yeah. We want to see that.
Well, that doesn't. I think that I actually think I don't think that would be that crazy.
But it's 2 Sanyos, right? So how are you gonna?
Yeah, you would need either 2 capture devices, which I have, or yeah, that'd probably be the easiest way.
I want to
see Lewis is in chat right now.
Yeah, what's up, Danger?
I haven't seen him in a while out here.
Yeah, well, but I'll get to that.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
What are they talking about?
It's Lewis. No, I was kidding. What? WUT?
Hashtag not me.
Ouch.
Please, that's what he put.
Hashtag dick-shaped.
He's listening with his headphones. We all know what that means. He's not just listening to us. Sorry, Danger.
Certainly not jerking off to this. Jesus Christ.
Well, at least someone's getting laid. Hashtag not me. Oh, sorry. My girlfriend Pamela and her 4 sisters are right there. So,
wait.
You wrote that.
I know.
And
I was reciting the joke
correctly
to our audio only listeners on whatever forums that we're on.
By the way, palm is not spelled P-U-L. It's P-A-L-M.
I'm a one-fingered typer, Jim.
Nice.
And my M key. So M key sticks.
Nice.
How many do you jerk off with?
Pinky? No.
He's a one pinky jerk offer.
No, it takes both hands though. So 2 pinkies.
And then you woke up.
Looks like he's feeding a log chipper.
Yeah, get in there.
Get in there.
No,
seems like a Canada thing to do.
I did enough log chipping in September after the tornadoes came through. Thank you very much. And technically, those are branches because you cannot feed anything over 8 centimeters.
How do you check that?
Oh, we have something.
I whip it out.
We have something else to talk about on the show.
Please, yes, let's segue.
It's arcade related. Orange Whip, friend of the show, who hasn't been on here in a long time, but it looks like his arcade, I think, is going to be opening soon. He made a semi announcement in his thread. What do you say, like 2 or 3 weeks or something? It's going to do a soft opening.
Yeah.
So that means you're almost done. So he needs to film that shit, and we gotta get him on and promote.
And we gotta get the fuck up there. It's like,
yeah.
Why are we not there for the opening?
Yeah, he said they just put a new toilet so we could give him an upper decker to like break it in.
we would fucking destroy his toilets.
Well, after that nacho bar, I don't think I'll have a choice in the matter.
We're gonna be fucking that shit up.
But yeah, how exciting!
Yeah,
I mean, Orange has been working on that like really hard for like almost a year.
Yeah.
2 years with the legal.
He went outside his 3-month plan. Nothing ever goes according to plan, though. When you do stuff like that, things can put you behind.
What do they say? No plan meets contact with the enemy, or no plan survives contact with the enemy. So yeah, I mean, you got a plan, but once you put it in motion.
You can do what you can, yeah. And
it's all about the motion.
So now he's gonna have to start like
not a dick joke.
He's gonna have to start make sure the games are all working, and
I know, right? Like
that's
we saw he was like pouring like fucking concrete and putting up walls.
So
this is like a major jump forward.
Like he totally renovated the outside so it looks like a new, like his part is like a new section, you know, like the side paneling he put up and everything. So he'll have to post some photos on the show, maybe do a tour.
Yeah, we gotta get him back on the show maybe at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
Orange Whip, who comes and listens to the show sometimes later.
Yeah.
Comes into the chat room, doesn't come on our show.
Come defend yourself.
You created
with a green button.
Show us your green buttons.
You created
a green button. Defend yourself
with
a green button.
Yeah, be prepared to have your defender judged.
It's his fault we're here.
He abandoned us. The kids are misbehaving while Dad is gone.
Yeah. So I'm happy for him. I'm looking
forward
to seeing the final.
Yeah, no, that's super exciting.
The final thing.
But Daddy is a big penis.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I mean, like we have been talking about making a trip up there at some point. So yeah,
to Canada.
Canada, the great land.
It is pronounced Canada. Canada.
The great white
America's
hat.
America's hat. That's right. I'm gonna put a feather
we might be moving up there depending on the 2020 election.
Yeah, right.
America's hat. America's hat.
Yeah, you're America's French tickler.
Hold some jobs for us. There's Orange Whip.
Oh man. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do if that happens. I'm gonna definitely cry for a little, for at least a day.
Well, I got fucking hammered after the 2016 election.
Yeah,
my friends went out and we just drank ourselves silly, ranting.
I got fucking heroin here.
Lucky.
Just waiting.
Marijuana wasn't enough, huh?
That's right. No, that shit's boring now. I'm looking for some sort of.
That's like drinking coffee now. You know, you gotta up it.
Some kind of opioid addiction to fucking deal with this election.
It's not a national crisis; it's a national coping mechanism.
It's like Amsterdam; they're trying to pass shrooms. That's like the next thing.
Denver, no, Colorado was doing that.
Oh, were they trying to
hear about that? Yeah, no, Colorado.
No, that's silly.
No, I'm not even fucking kidding. Colorado has a thing right now.
Shrooms is so harsh.
Legalizing psilocybin mushrooms.
No, that can't be good. That's not good for you.
It's
weed's one thing, but
as natural as weed.
Something.
Yeah, you better not be busy for 8 hours.
Well, yeah. But same thing with fucking pot, though. I mean, you can't get high and drive. So
no, that's true, but a couple hours you might be able to drive down to 7-Eleven and get a Twinkie or whatever. But but shrooms, you're gonna be watching Yellow Submarine like on loop.
That's right.
Twinkies,
8 hours
last forever, man. Twinkies last forever.
Anyway, yeah, we should do that. Take a trip and see Orange. It'll be fun.
We should take a trip and come to Denver. Have some mushrooms.
Sorry, I live in Canada. I can get all the weed I want, but I don't even use that shit.
Well,
you guys are ahead of us by what, 3 years in Denver?
For the legalization of marijuana?
Yeah.
Of cannabis? I hate using the word marijuana.
To me, it's I love the medicinal side of it, but I don't smoke pot really. It's super rare. I have
3%. That's all I need. Nicotine.
Yeah, that's not a drug. Thank God.
You wouldn't like me without nicotine.
Yeah.
Most addictive drug on the planet.
I know. Well, besides
Ozzy Osbourne said it's the worst, most addicting drug compared to heroin that he's ever had.
Heroin and then nicotine.
I mean, compared to all the drugs I meant, not just heroin.
what's that? Budweiser.
Yeah,
Budweiser. I'm not a lightweight.
Heroin and nicotine.
Heroin, Budweiser, or heroin, alcohol, and nicotine is apparently the top 3.
No. Yeah.
At least in, yeah.
Stick with.
Also, you guys, I want to bring Yo on.
Yes.
So I was going to bring him on tonight, but I didn't want to bug him last minute. I totally spaced setting that up. So if Crafty Mech doesn't come on next week, maybe we get Yo in here.
Crafty and Sam at the same time. Because
God, that'd be good.
Exciting.
We all like old times. Yeah, I'll contact him this week and let him know that we'll try to get him on next week, and he can talk about his new partner endeavor. Yeah, did you see that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also talk about that asshole that's still trying to sell that shitty Zelda cab for $7,000 on eBay.
How about that's an interesting topic. To dovetail off of that, how about $8,000 for a Paperboy on Clav?
Oh no!
$8,000 for a Paperboy on Clav.
That's ridiculous.
Even in Canadian dollars, that's freaking hilarious. No.
Even in Mexican rupees or pesos.
Pesos.
Even in Greek dollars, that's crazy amount of money.
All right. I mean, I don't know. You guys want to talk about the crazy prices?
Some things are like ridiculous like that. Or Major Havocs are still really high.
Yeah,
but $8,000 though.
Major Havoc's always been high. I mean, I remember even like collecting back in like 2010, I remember Major Havocs going for like $3,000, being like, what?
Yeah, they're about $3,000 now.
Now you're talking. Well, no. Now dedicated Major Havocs are going for like 6 and 7.
Oh God, are they now?
Or dedicated?
Maybe it was the Tempest one I saw then. That was 3.
Yeah, the Tempest mine is merely 3. But no. All right, so Paperboy, that's breaking a new ground, and apparently it's sold. I don't know.
No,
no way.
Spread on Cloud.
Someone's got some deep pockets.
Yeah. Did it really sell, or did someone say it sold?
Did Steve's sell? Did Grinker sell?
No, so that's a different thread. But one thread asking, he posted one shitty ass picture on Clav that showed what looked like a very nice Paperboy. It kind of looked like Griffin's art, which.
What was that? Was that the silly one he made that was like his own?
But like the side art that he made with the Paperboy throwing the paper, and it was like the art from the Atari thing that happened. Wasn't it Griffin that did that?
I think he did. I think he did a custom Paperboy.
So that's all cool. That's fine. I'm more of a purist, and so I want the original Atari side art.
Yeah,
100%. But the side art that he showed, this one picture that this guy was selling this $8,000 Paperboy for, had some kind of side art on it that was not the original Atari side art. Someone Clav. It's so bad it smells like butt.
You're not supposed to read that. We're PC, whatever that means.
That is our caller. That's our private chat.
The side art, I'm not saying it was Griffin's. I don't know what Griffin's was compared to this one, but like the side art was not the original Atari. It looked like a very nice Paperboy. However, $8,000.
There's no way it's sold. Somebody did not buy that.
And the OP, I believe, replied in Clav. If you guys want to go look at this thread in Clav, said the game is sold. So whether he sold it for $8,000, I don't know.
Oh, or somebody offered him like $5,000.
Who knows?
And he took it.
Who knows?
I mean,
Maybe, but
if it sold for that, he would have posted it.
But this is like what's happening right now on Clav. If you guys this is like the last couple.
But he he could also say there was a bidding war and I sold it for $27,000, and somebody can say kind of anything.
Totally,
So,
but
true.
I think the conversation starter for you guys is a Paperboy was offered for sale for $8,000. How do you feel about that? Paperboy, $8,000.
I'm glad I don't like the game.
I love
Yeah,
the
like, I don't.
I that's sad for me because I'll never acquire one.
Right.
If it's 8,000.
Me and Carrie were just at an arcade and there was no one playing Paperboy.
There was nobody, I know, right? And I wouldn't pay 25 cents.
But I have a
I don't play it for free over
specific memory.
Christmas
Like
place.
games to me, I connect with because I was a Paperboy. I played it at the bowling alley. Like that game, like has specific.
Yeah.
I loved it when I was a kid. I love it now, and but $8,000, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I remember when it approached $1,000, I was like, that's crazy talk. And then I remember like approaching $2,000, and I was like, no, this is like a stupid inflated market. And now, after $2,000, it's up at 4 times that at $8,000, and someone.
I don't think it's at that. I don't think it's at anything until it's actually selling for that.
Yeah,
and I don't believe
that.
for a second that he sold it for that.
All right, so fair enough. So, but like Idaho Steve is offering one for sale right now for around 4,000.
47.
750.
Not that he's gonna. He might take, but he's got to throw it out there because you can always go lower. You can't go higher.
I know. I get that.
You know, I mean, it's like, wow, this is pretty in demand. I mean, not that I love Steve, but he paid a lot for these games, and everyone's like, oh, he's not.
Not
like,
all
listen,
of them.
Well, true. He did buy in bulk. I have no idea what he purchased, but you're not going to say, oh, let me give these all for $400. It's like, you know, he's gonna win on some and he's gonna lose on some.
Different,
though. Crazy prices, but like, still, we're talking about like. All right, so Steve's offering what I was just talking about being a $2,000 game, which is so fucking a lot of money. At $8,000, and even Steve offering his up for 47 or whatever
Was a lot.
That seems like
the condition it was. Not that he wouldn't take any less, but you can only go down.
Didn't he get shit for that though? I heard.
Oh, he got
people are writing stuff. Yeah,
there was like, yeah. So
that's why I originally thought that $8,000 thread was a joke. Because Steve had just posted that.
But is that what it was? A stupid joke.
No, because he was.
That's what I thought.
He was offering his Paperboy for $8,000 or a dedicated Major Havoc plus cash on the Major Havoc side.
Yeah, he's smoking something.
Easy.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, and then proceeded to say, well, because
I'm going to sell my eyes for $4,000.
So yeah,
but here's crazy. But it's crazy.
Who wants my eyes? $4,000.
Nah, eyes no. Cheyenne, Marble Madness. You can get up there now. You're good with your.
I don't know. There are people on Club right now. They're like, I never come across Rockola stuff. No, mine's got the original. Mine's an original, one of a kind factory conversion.
Jim, what's the dollar amount? If someone said, "I'll give you this,"
what's your fuck you price?
You're like, all right, it's yours. If you give me $3,500.
Yeah.
3,000.
Nah. I like eyes too much.
3,500 though, you would say, okay, yeah, I'll.
So that extra $500. That's your fuck you.
3,500.
That's right.
So right now in this world, if beautiful restored eyes, Jim would sell it for $3,500.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Would you? 3,500.
Yeah, I do 35. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not going to get another eyes like that in the United States. I'm sure it's beautiful.
Fully restored. It's got beautiful gloss laminate.
I'm sure.
Powder coated.
Yeah.
Everything.
Jim, don't be surprised if you get some crazy.
Well, no, I know.
You're like,
it's
wow,
it's
okay.
a factory converted jump bug cabinet, so it's got the blue theme, which is the way it should have been. But
anything else you want to sell? Anybody, Carrie? You want to get on board?
Yeah, Carrie, do you want to sell your Vectrex?
Wouldn't that be funny if she just turns around right now and puts like a for sale? Like, boom. She's holding up a signed Vectrex.
I'm not paying $8,000.
Here's the thing, though. Like,
$7,000 maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Carry on your Vectrex today, right now. What's your fuck you price?
Oh,
Grand.
With all the overlays.
With all the overlays.
And controller, everything.
Okay.
And the box.
Let's
the box is beautiful.
And
Somebody's
the
gonna
box with the matching serial number.
Everything. All of it.
Yeah, we'll say $900.
Oh,
yeah, that's sold, Carrie.
Well, that just so happens I have a check right here for.
It's all been pre-filled out. He just
somebody's probably gonna say.
I thought that was what the number
was. She serious? Because I will take that.
You should.
But if you're ahead of the game and you're like, oh, I liked it, this was fun, then go nuts.
Well, I can always get another one.
Will you take
900 US, so that's 1,400 Canadian. Yeah, too rich for my blood.
No, you're gonna get somebody saying, "I will buy that."
Let's do this. Maybe save this for a week. Let's go through every game we own with
some free poutine.
This is actually fun.
Actually, pretty fun.
Yeah.
This is fun because I'm thinking Cheyenne right now. What would be my Cheyenne fuck you price?
Yeah.
Right now I'm thinking $5,000.
Yeah. Well, so we did.
A restored Cheyenne. Not
that should be a show.
Shit!
Beautiful with the wood stock, everything. That is that you're not going to find a nicer Cheyenne.
I'm not going to argue that.
I forget about so much time with that. Yeah. $5,000, you'd be like, okay.
I mean, it's like it was
previously
a year or two ago. We did the fuck you price for your whole arcade. Right?
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And we did the prices like, what would be your price, your fuck you price for everything arcade you own?
Andrew, what would you do your red tent for? Now I'm like
rethinking. My fuck you price on a red tent for
because that's got to be because market value is already pushing like a big bubble.
All right, so I would say red tents going in shit conditions nowadays. I'm seeing like 1,500.
I was just gonna say they're into 4 digits. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, deep into 4 digits.
And if you've got original monitors that work,
and I have
that's the big kicker.
Original monitors, and if I was doing the fuck you price for the whole thing, that would be my extra fully working monitor that's sitting on the shelf right there. It's my spare monitor, all my spare PC or my Versus boards and my PC10 board because I have the extra PC10 conversion for that thing. My fuck you price in that $5,000.
Yeah,
no question.
Yeah,
I would not go less than $5,000 for my red tent.
Because like a couple years back,
I've got like 6 PC10 boards. I've got all my ROMs. I've got my daughter boards for Dr. Mario and Gradius and fucking Gun, all that shit. I would not let go of that thing for less than $5,000.
Well, 2 years ago, I was like, I wouldn't sell mine for a penny under 25, and that was like a couple years back. Yeah,
and mine's like yours, fully restored. That thing is fucking beautiful. All the buttons are original Nintendo buttons. This is not the Mike's Arcades buttons. I have because of you, all original buttons on that thing, beautifully restored. That was the cream of the crop. After 4 red tents that I had to control and work through to make my one game that I wanted to keep. Yeah, you know what? No, $5,000.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we went through that. I would actually like to go back to when we started doing this, we were done with our red tents, but or close. But because we were still in the IRC for but like of all my games, I mean that. You call games bulletproof. That's a game that I wouldn't even hesitate to say that's bullet. Of all the games, when I'm firing up my games, I know that's always going to come on.
Red tent
like I don't even think twice. It's so rock solid.
Yeah.
You
100%.
can't even fucking scratch this thing.
$5,000, I would still be like, I fucking love that game.
Doesn't include tennis.
I don't,
because I really like tennis.
I don't have those ROMs, but like the thing is, like I've got
you've got a
with my $5,000 that includes every Versus board and PC10 board. That I have a PC10 conversion for this thing that works with 10 slots of PC10 games, and they all work.
So, you haven't done the 10 in a while.
I've got I've got fucking. I've got.
You're right. I'm behind on the quota.
They're amazing. So I've got a fully
10.
game.
All right. So how about Steve? Do you have any games that you're gonna unload for the fuck you price?
His Monster Bash.
Yeah,
14 grand.
The broken Monster Bash with the fucked up coils.
It's rare.
Brand new. I'd be
rare.
Fucking.
It's one of a kind. 1 week flipper.
I was a little pissed. Still a little pissed.
Livid.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I want $2,000 refund.
For my time,
right?
And my stress.
We should do this like 1 week. Like maybe everyone picks their top their like three of their best games. Fuck you prices or something.
All night long.
Or we get to pick for each other.
I'm really enjoying this. Actually, it's like venting. It's like venting about something. Like
it's almost like though, if it's your favorite, you don't want to let it go. You know, like Carrie wouldn't want to let go over like Reactor or something. You know, so
yeah.
And what's the fuck you price on like one of your favorite games?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Toki. I wouldn't let Toki go for less than 3.
Yeah.
It's got one of a kind artwork.
There you go.
Thanks, Steve.
Or Forgotten World.
Yeah.
That's like fucking one of my favorite games. And that's original dedicated. And Carrie.
Like Carrie's probably wouldn't let go of that either. So that's okay. So Carrie's 3 games would be Forgotten Worlds, Reactor, and
like
I don't know, what would be the third one? Vectrex.
I'll trade my Toki for a nice pin. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But like I've got
how dare you?
Carrie.
I thought that's right up your alley, Mock.
Wyoming about Forgotten Worlds and Star Trek. Those games will never leave my collection. So the fuck you price for both of those games because of the story that goes along with those things that are related to me. That's personal memories. So like my fuck you price on Forgotten Worlds,
10 G's,
10 grand.
And that Star Trek was like an adventure to get it to your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Stories, like the money is not the thing, but like I'll never get that story back in my life of being able to say that game was this adventure in Wyoming, Mother's Day, 5 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah,
like that's a personal connection for me. That means
you had the melty Manhattan cups too.
Yeah,
and a horrible hamburger.
The days in.
Like I can't replace that. I can replace the game, but I couldn't replace the story, and that's the cabinet that made that story happen. That's special.
Yeah.
Good night, my friends. I have to go to bed.
Sam.
Dave, I'm impressed that you stayed with us this long.
Well, I have no kids and but I have to get up tomorrow and make kids lunches and pick them up with my parents. So I do have to get up, but I can go back to bed. After I drop, I have to take them to school, then I can come back and take a nap.
All right, let's end the show then.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it.
I'm gonna dream
this in another week.
I know. I love the fuck you.
This is fun. Yeah, I like this.
I like that we started right at 8 o'clock today.
Yeah, you guys threw me. I'm like, what is this? Why am I getting this alert?
We started straight up at 8 today.
Oh, dear.
What to talk about everybody?
Yeah, we can't talk about people.
No, you guys started so live. I was like, what is this? They started it so live.
And another thing I hate about John Jacobson is
stop. No, I love that man. Listen. Everybody's got good.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No. All right, I have to go. Good night, all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna.
Why don't you just stay and we'll close the show?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Welcome everybody and goodbye everybody.
That's what I waited for.
That's on the show.
So, Mark, who did we have on tonight?
We had a whole bunch of people on. Thanks for coming.
Come on now, you have one job. But
I'm not going to go through everybody. We had like about 22 people.
Warren Lewis was on.
Yeah, Lewis is here. Eric Dell's Arcade comes all the time.
Thank you, dude.
Dell's Arcade's cool. We'll check out his channel too. It's good on YouTube. Jim Bodini was here. Seabart.
He was.
That Seabart's a real fucking asshole.
34K. The Gleek, I think, is here. I think he's in chat.
Gleek went to bed. We have Geek though.
Geach.
Okay.
Which is
Geach is probably his AI software is running in the background.
Yeah. Banana. Banana's been here for a bit.
And Necros, of course, and Sarah, I think, was here earlier.
Sarah was earlier.
So thank you for joining us yet again, and we are going to try to start.
Don't get used to our punctuality.
We're going to try and start at 8:00, and whoever's here is who's here. Okay.
And if anyone would like to buy any one of these games, always, offers are always accepted.
So
they may not be.
The reason why
you can offer something we may not accept.
during the show that we announce them, and then it may expire. No.
The reason why we start late,
you can always send a PM. We can always turn them down.
We're waiting for people to join the room, so we're just going to start from now on.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It'll just be Andrew.
It'll just be me and Andrew.
I love Andrew and his Guinness in the cloud of freaking vape smoke all around him.
Yep.
He's just like.
So join us next week. We're going to try and have a couple guest stars next week. We're going to try and get in here Crafty Mech, the inventor of the TPG and his BitKit. And talk about BitKit. I think he has a new update or something coming, right?
He needs to talk about that shit then.
Yeah, he needs to talk about that on the show.
And I get to nag him about the high score thing.
Perfect.
Of our founding members, actually.
He is. Yeah. He used to come all the time.
I thought I was going to learn something because he was on at the beginning and then it just went to shit. I didn't learn nothing. We had Adam, we had Crafty Mech. Wow, they're really talking like, God, these guys are technical. I'm going to learn a lot of things. And I just started drinking.
I don't learn nothing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have him, and we're also gonna try and get Yo in here, aka Sam, who's also another classic founding father.
I'm gonna fucking PM Adam too. Try to get him back on.
Adam was fun.
Crafty Mech has been on here for approximately 102 hours.
I want Adam to give an update to his board, find out what year we're talking. Like, do I need to get a time machine? We should get a time runner in here, get a time machine, go in the future and see when he really releases this thing. And come back and let us know.
Yeah.
There's not enough room to get up to 88 miles an hour. Come on now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go eat a mega stuffed
He always
Oreo
says soon. Yeah, it's like my Monster Bash. It was coming soon.
Yes.
They finally came.
November 5th, 1955.
My birthday.
All right. So I guess we can end it now.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, guys.